The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
All right, everybody loves a little time off, don't they, Cubby?
I think so.
Everybody loves a little time off, but it never lasts forever.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed your time off as I did.
Oh, yeah. It felt really long this time around.
Long, and it was strong. And it was bound to get the friction on. At one point or another, though, everybody's got to go back to work. You got to put down the drugs. You got to put the cap back on the bottle, don't you, Cubby?
Well, that's good advice. I say any day, not just on a back from vacation day.
Yeah, but it's a little more significant when you've had a week to yourself. Those are a lot of bottles you got to cap. Those are a lot of drugs you got to send your little side piece back home. Ashley, you got to send your little boy toy back home.
Darn.
And tell them it's time to get back to work. Welcome, everybody, to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Happy holidays. I'd call it official in my book now. Thanksgiving is come and gone, so I'd say it's now officially the holidays.
Yep. I got my Christmas tree yesterday. Nope, the day before, Saturday.
I'm actually surprised you hadn't done that sooner.
No, I always wait until the day after Thanksgiving because I get a real tree.
Oh,
so
okay.
Gotcha.
If I get it too early, I will either just kill it or it'll start on fire. Something bad will happen.
Didn't you, I thought November 1st you put up your Christmas lights.
Yep, yeah. It's easier because when I take down all the Halloween decorations, it's easy to just put up all the Christmas stuff. It's just one big day.
One word for you, and that word is word. Plus a little nicer out if you're going to throw some ones outside.
Yeah.
Well, last time we all saw each other was over a week ago at our Toys for Tatas toy drive. Thanks to our wonderful listening audience. There are piles and piles and piles of toys from that event now ready to be handed off to kids here in town who wouldn't normally get that opportunity. So we thank you very much for donating. You once again made us look good.
That was a fun event. I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Everybody I thought was very cool, with the exception of maybe one or two. Everyone,
There's always one or two.
with the exception of maybe one or two, behaved. I got to tell you, I saw a couple lap dances where how do you phrase something like this? The difference in body types between the person getting the lap dance and the stripper was absolutely hilarious. In one case, there was one of our coworkers who's 5'9" on a good day was getting a lap dance from a girl I'd say must have been 6'4" with heels.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe
Love that.
6'1" without them. That was absolutely hilarious. I was standing next to you and your brother, Nick. I don't know if you remember this.
I do not.
I told him, I'm like, hey, Steve, you got to turn around and take a look at this. And he had the same reaction I did. I bust out laughing when I saw it. He turned around and bust out laughing as well.
One of our coworkers was completely eclipsed by his dancer.
Yep.
That's all fun. Always
I was lucky
fun.
enough to see each and every one of you over a break, one way or another.
Well, you know what? That's true.
A couple of get-togethers.
You got to see everybody? Nice.
Everyone.
Everyone. What movie? The Professional.
You know
we were happy to see you too, Josh.
Yes.
I saw Mr. Andrew Van Ginkel at the Wild Game Monday night.
People need to get over this guy.
I love that guy.
They need to get over it.
He seems pretty cool.
He's my second favorite player behind Depot on the Vikings.
Van Ginkel mania. It's like a drug in this town, and you got to put it down, Josh, or it's going to get out of control.
No, I don't want to put it down. I'm addicted. And I can quit anytime I want.
I don't think so. Where did you see the guy?
At the Wild Game Monday night.
The Wild Game.
Nick thinks you need to put the cap on your Van Ginkel obsession.
Did you approach him? Van Ginkel,
No,
I'm your
nothing
biggest
like
fan.
That. Nothing like that. Just watched him walk down he had much better seats than we did, as you can imagine, so I Watched him walk down to his seat.
You couldn't take your eyes off the guy.
Oh, he's mesmerizing. I don't know if it's the hair. I don't know what it is.
You've been telling everyone, I saw Van Ginkel in person.
Everyone asked me, what's the highlight? What was the highlight of your vacation? I'm like, well, I was having a great night hanging out with all the kids. Me and the kids went to the game. I was a bachelor for a couple days. My wife was out of town.
Sure.
She was.
And you bastard. And lo and behold, there's Andrew Van Ginkel.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It's better than anything that happened to me.
It was
during
better
my
than
vacation,
most things that happened at the Wild game that night, but it was fun.
Well, I'm happy for you.
I had a realization, sometimes when you get a little sleep, maybe you think about some stuff you normally don't. And I watched a lot of TV.
You did.
And I realized that I have now watched every single thought Taylor Sheridan has ever had up until this point in his life. Taylor Sheridan, he's the guy behind Yellowstone.
Okay.
If you're not familiar. You give me a look. And
I didn't know what that meant. I'm sorry I gave you that look.
He has so many shows on TV. He's involved in so many shows, and I've watched every single one of them now. I don't know how there's so much talent in one guy, but I've watched all of his thoughts. I don't know how he could have any more thoughts.
You've covered everything that Yellowstone has ever...
Yellowstone I gave up on after season 3. It got a little too soap opera for me, but... But I've watched everything else he's done.
Okay. Like, what are these programs? Because I'm unfamiliar with what any of this means.
I bet you haven't heard of any of them. Like Lioness, Landman, that's a new one. That's great.
Yep.
Mayor of Kingstown,
There's
1923, 1883.
Okay, 1883 I did watch, and I'll get back to you on that. This is one dude named Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
And he pumps out all these different programs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of them, you see, he's writing them, too. So it's not like he just has an idea and says, all right, you guys go.
You know every thought the man has ever had.
I think I do. I mean, how could you possibly have any more thoughts if you put all that out there?
Has there ever been a writer, creator, television or movie producer who has been this prolific?
I don't know. I mean, I thought of another one. Tulsa King. You'd love Tulsa King.
I just started that. It's so good.
It's great.
Sylvester Stallone. I know he's in the show. You've advocated this program before.
Yeah, it's great.
By the way, can we turn the music down a touch? Yeah, I just I feel like I'm losing my mind. Appreciate that. Okay.
Josh, I'd add Bill Lawrence to that list, too. The guy who's made Scrubs, Shrinking, Ted Lasso, Spin City, Bad Monkey. He's had a lot of great shows.
Holy balls.
Shrinking is incredible.
It is. It really is.
That show.
It's funny, and it's equal parts funny and devastating at the same time.
Bad Monkey grabbed my attention. I don't know at all.
I couldn't get into it. I watched one episode. Maybe I got to give it more time.
Well, I mean, I just the title.
Just the title of
alone,
it, yeah.
Bad Monkey. I remember. I've been a fan of monkey programming before. Every Which Way But Loose, Every Which Way You Turn, a couple of the Planet of the Apes movies. Okay, that's okay. Now people are texting in. Jerry Bruckheimer makes everything. Tyler Perry. Okay, yeah.
Oh, sure.
And of course, I guess you could say, Stephen King pumped out a lot of books. Maybe it was a silly question to ask, but I was unaware there was one guy, Josh, who writes and creates so many different programs. And aside from Van Ginkel, you're completely dialed in. I mean, if it's not Tyler Sheridan, it's Andrew Van Ginkel on your mind right now.
And by the way, if Mr. Van Ginkel is listening, if you put out some television shows on Paramount Plus or pick your streaming service, I'll watch all of them. Even if I don't have it, I'll subscribe to it. I'll watch everything you do. I loved him on Hard Knocks. That's when I first fell in love with him. And then I was so excited he was a Viking.
Wow. That's great. So okay, wow, people are going back to the 70s now and naming, different people who are known for just pumping out television programs. Norman Lear. Okay, I remember Norman Lear. He produced, whatever the term is, produced, wrote, directed, I'm not sure, All in the Family and Good Times and Maude and all that stuff. What about Beverly Hills 902?
90210?
Okay.
That guy.
Spelling.
Yes, Aaron
right?
Spelling.
I'm not saying that was his show. but I remember that his daughter was on the show. But Aaron Spelling, wasn't he the guy behind the friggin' Brady Bunch? And anyway.
Yeah, he's been behind a lot of stuff.
This is what you do when you have time off. You watch the balls off of your television.
We killed a lot of shows we've been wanting to watch. Caught up on some stuff. By the way, I wasn't going to watch this season of Lioness. I don't know why. I liked the first season enough, but I thought I'm done. But this season, I think, is even better. And Landman, I'm really liking, too, with Billy Bob Thornton.
While we're talking about, people are saying Quentin Tarantino has put out a lot of movies. Sure. While we're talking about television programming, entertainment in general, Gladiator Part 2, go.
Oh, I want to watch it. I didn't have time. I was catching up on TV in Van Ginkel.
I thought for sure one of you would have watched it because that's the big thing now, right, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it was a big weekend movie.
It's been out for a while?
Yeah, about a little over a week.
Okay. None of you have seen Gladiator Part 2?
No, I definitely plan. I've heard great things.
Yeah, between that and Wicked and then Moana 2, it was a huge weekend, huge week at the box office.
I know a few people who saw Moana 2 and said it was fantastic.
My boyfriend really wants to go see it, but I've never seen the first
does.
one. So.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
It's good.
I did watch back to this.
But I have kids, Ashley.
Yep.
Back to this Tyron Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan?
I did watch 1883.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes it was. I don't know, 8 or 10 episodes. I'm not dialed in on how this works. I thought it was just awful.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Oh, the acting was so awful.
Oh, I liked it. I thought that country guy was pretty good.
We're talking about the dude. At one point, there was a dude and his woman in I think it was around the year 1883.
That doesn't sound right. But go on.
And first his boat sinks, and then the plane goes down, and then his...
Are you thinking of 1923?
Maybe that was it. One of those deals.
Yeah, I don't think a plane went down in 1880.
Yeah, but they were on a boat, and then the captain died, and then the boat sinks.
I think you're thinking of 1923.
All right, one of those. But isn't that the same
Did it
gimmick?
have Harrison Ford in it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But isn't that the same gimmick?
It's all the same umbrella.
Yeah, I
same
saw
universe.
one of the one where and even when the boat was going down, the couple still are making out. It was just awful.
That chick was kind of annoying.
Oh, they were terrible.
Yeah.
So now you know what I'm talking about. Those two characters, the guy and the girl, were absolutely horrible.
I kind of liked the guy.
Nobody liked him.
Well, I think I did. I count. I'm a human being. I'm trying to have positive affirmations.
Tell me all about this Cyber Monday now.
Well, if you like to shop online, which I do, today you can get some deals. It's really started over a week ago.
Yeah. I did most of the shopping.
So I look for stuff. I'm sorry, Ashley. I jumped right in there.
Oh, no, you're good. I did most of the shopping, look for all the deals a week ago. It was already out there.
Oh, this is okay. See, I don't know what I don't know which is which. 1883, 1923. I didn't know when Cyber Monday. So today isn't Cyber Monday.
Today is Cyber Monday.
Today is Cyber Monday.
But deals now kind of get earlier and earlier and earlier, right?
Oh.
Where it used to be Black Friday was Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then Cyber Monday was the Monday. Then there's Small Business Saturday. Don't forget that.
Oh, I can't forget about that.
Oh.
So, yeah, you got, if you're looking for some, I do some Christmas shopping and stuff I already pay for, I'll see if there's deals on it, like subscriptions and whatnot.
Are there any products that you'd like to buy today on Cyber Monday?
Nothing in particular.
I guess I haven't really checked it out yet. There's probably a million things I want to buy, but
Try and plan ahead.
Past Cyber Monday deals that you took advantage of?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess nothing stands out. Like I said, Christmas shopping and stuff I already paid
You
for.
don't want to give away anything that you've purchased for Christmas.
No, but I bought a couple yesterday and one for a guy I'm looking at right now, Mr. Handsome.
You son of a bitch,
I
you.
just got an email that it's already been shipped.
You son of a bitch.
Hey, I got to ask you guys something.
Talk
Another
to me.
realization.
Ask me anything.
I had a S-ton of work dreams over break.
Oh.
So much so that I'm wondering, can I bill the company? Does that count as overtime if you're dreaming about work?
That's funny
I would
because
think
I had
so.
one too. I had a big one, a major one the other day. I almost texted you about it, Josh.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, you don't need to be bothered by that, but I needed to tell somebody about it.
Was it like mine where it's all it is things gone wrong or you misspeak and say something terrible? Or
Mine was that they came in at 8 o'clock and said, hey, the show's over for the day. You guys are done. and they started bringing in, and same with KQ, they said, you guys are done at 8. And they started bringing in all this lavish food and drink, and they were setting up a stage for a concert, and it was just the most fanciest stuff I'd ever seen in my life. Nothing ever, stuff out of a movie. And then they say, hey, this is our way of telling you the company is folding. We spent all of the money that we would have spent on severance on this party. Enjoy. Goodbye.
Let me tell you
that's
something.
not too far from the truth, Dana.
So bogus.
Dana, sometimes dreams do come true. So, Josh, you had multiple work dreams while we were on vacation. Now,
Yeah.
you know what that says to me, and I'm not a doctor or a psychologist. I do think of myself as kind of an amateur gynecologist.
I'd say more than amateur.
You know what that says to me? That says you're very stressed.
Maybe. But what I like to do is, you know how they recommend you just kind of push it down and bury it and do nothing about it?
Yes, doctor recommended.
Don't talk to anybody about it. Or
You talking about stress?
Yeah, stress.
Doctors recommend that you bottle stress up until your head pops clean off. That's what they recommend. Yes.
Just like when you ignore it, it goes away and it doesn't have any effect on you.
Right.
Is that what you're trying to tell me? Jesus is a little confused on the conversation this morning. We've covered several topics.
Yes.
Keep in mind, we've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with these stories. Did you say you saw Van Wilder at a Wild Gladiator game? No, you're conflating a whole bunch of different things into one.
It was Van Ginkel.
I saw Van Ginkel at a Minnesota Wild game. Nick asked if anyone saw Gladiator 2, and no one had.
That catches everybody.
Yeah, now
up
you're
right
up to
there.
date.
I'm worried about you now. I'm always a little bit worried about you, Josh.
Nothing
because
to be worried about.
I know that you're a worrier, and you.
Yeah, but only all the time.
Right.
It'd be concerning if there were some breaks in between, right? Because then I'd have time to develop hope and things like that. So don't worry.
I suppose the bright side of your stress and your worry is that at least it happens all the time.
Yeah, if that is your base, if you're just revving right there, then, it's fine.
It's a good point.
You don't know what it's like to live on the other side.
Exactly.
That's a very good point.
I don't even want to know. That's why I live vicariously through you guys, you partiers.
Now, I know a thing or two about these work dreams. I do. I have them, occasionally. Again, I'm concerned that you had, more than a few while we were on vacation.
It's my fault, and I know why.
Here's the type of work dreams that I have. I have the work dreams where you show up like it's any other day, and suddenly all of these horrible characters that have been long gone from the company for years have returned. People that I could not stand. They disgusted me. And I disgusted them, and we hated each other, and we were very.
I've had that about bosses that treated us very poorly.
Suddenly, those people return.
Yeah, I've had that for sure.
Did you have one of those in the past week?
It was mostly stuff like things that didn't work at the absolute worst times.
Okay.
Which I know it's far from reality in this place, but it's a silly worry. But yes, that kind of thing. More anxiety than hair. Jesus said it's really weird that I had those dreams because he had multiple wet dreams over Thanksgiving break.
That's wonderful.
Adults don't have wet dreams, do they?
I don't think so. I'm
hope
sure it's
not.
possible. I'm sure maybe occasionally to somebody, but
I don't know. I'd assume I would be a sleep masturbator.
I don't think I've had one of those since I was a kid.
I had just one, and I even kind of remember the dream. I remember where I was, all that kind of stuff, because I was so kind of freaked out by it.
oh, I bet you felt shame.
I did, and then I had to remember, like, oh, that's right. Okay, I heard about this.
The awkward math teacher talked about this in 4th grade or whatever it was.
Exactly.
You guys ever heard this before? You probably have. My dad had a buddy, and that guy's one of his favorite lines was whenever you were talking about someone that was perceived to be a moron. Like I remember where I was the first time I heard this said out loud. My dad asked this old beer drinking buddy of his. He said something like, "Hey, when's the last time you saw Donnie?" And my dad's buddy said, "Oh, Donnie? Haven't seen him in decades." And then they started talking about Donnie. And eventually my dad's friend said, "That son of a bitch was so dumb he could F up a wet dream." This buddy of my dad's, who's passed on now, He probably said that about me at one point or another. He loved that line. That guy would F up a wet dream.
It's a good one.
Excessive diarrhea, Jesus has texted into the program. Here on our first broadcast, our first official broadcast of the holiday season. Excessive diarrhea, Jesus texted in to say, can I be the first to text and say that I'm the only real man out there right now? And nobody else knows how to drive in the snow but me.
There definitely were those drivers on the way in today.
Yeah.
And he says, if I am too late and somebody beat me to it, that's cool too.
No, that's the first one I saw.
You're the first.
There was nobody on the road when I came in. You guys had a different story. Ashley, it sounds like you got totally boned.
Yeah, I was in bumper-to-bumper traffic at 5 a.m. That was for the first time ever. Like, I've never experienced traffic that early in all my years working here.
So
But-
there must have been a terrible accident on the roadway.
See, I kept waiting for that, but I think it was just a huge line of plow trucks.
Sure.
I think they were geared up and just attacking it all at once, and it
Sure.
happened to be the time I was on the road.
Yeah, if you're just coming to, there's a little bit of snow on the road, and it could cause you some problems, but
A little sketchy.
Appreciate the snowplow men and women out there doing what they do. Army mailman Jesus texted in earlier and said it's going to be pretty busy for them for a while with all the after Cyber Monday and Black Friday shopping deals, everybody getting their stuff.
got to have your purchases delivered, don't you?
Yeah, you can just see the stress on the Amazon driver's face as they're dropping stuff off at your door.
Oh, I've got video. I took it because I thought it was pretty funny. We had a delivery. For whatever reason, my wife's work sends stuff to her at our house instead of her work. Whatever. Corporate sends her stuff she needs for work.
Sure.
And I got video of a driver, and it wasn't Amazon, but it was a driver who kicked the box onto our front step. That's absolutely hilarious.
That is awesome.
So
If it was my stuff, I might be kind of bothered by it, but it's my wife's work stuff.
He's done.
you guys, you've crossed paths now with an angry driver who had enough, long day, and instead
Yeah.
of placing the package on your step, he kicked it there.
I actually felt bad for him. I thought, everybody's had a day like that.
Yep.
Well, now that you bring it up, Cyber Monday, all this stuff, snowy roads, now's the time that these delivery drivers, they just get pumped, don't they? They're working 18-hour days, just up and down, packages coming out their ass. That's got to be miserable.
Especially when I lived in an apartment building, you would see a guy come in, with 40 packages on his back, lugging them in. You just felt so bad for the guy.
Yeah, that's a tough gig. What are you looking for on your phone, Cubby?
Here's that video.
You found the video of a man.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, can you rewind it just a little bit? I'm an old timer now. Too old to have a wet dream. And I couldn't quite.
Screw it up.
Too old.
Oh, yeah, he kind of just dropped it.
And then he kicked it at the end.
Oh, he's mad.
Yeah, he's in it.
Here's a text here. It says, I work at USPS, and they've been long days already.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom works at FedEx Ground, and she has my whole entire life. And yeah, this time of the year is just terrible for her.
Is she pretty miserable?
It is just so incredibly busy, and everybody's busy, so everyone's kind of in a bad mood. But they try to do things for the drivers, try to get food every day for everybody, stuff like that to make it easier on people.
And
Retail's like that too,
Right.
Where people don't get time off and things like that. They're working long hours.
And all the customers or people who are waiting on packages are crabby because their package or their purchase is the most important out of anybody else's. Of course, you know how that goes.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't even care if they just kick it on your front porch.
You just don't.
Some
Especially
of
if
us
it's your
don't.
wife's stuff. Who
Yeah,
cares?
especially when it's not yours.
That's a good laugh.
Who's that for? The wife? Yeah, whatever. All right, so here we go with our first official holiday season broadcast. Coming up a little bit later, we'll get a chance to rap with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder for the first time in a long damn time. For the first time in over a week, by God, I bet they missed us. We got the stupid news coming up and all kinds of shenanigans. Appreciate you tuning in. Drive carefully. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at driveeasymd.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Cubby. It's our first broadcast in a week here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Last we saw everybody was at our glorious Toys for Tatas toy drive. Thanks again to everyone who donated. And there were lots and lots of you and lots of toys handed off there at the door at Rick's Cabaret. Thanks again to Rick's Cabaret Gentlemen's Club for the 25th, 6th, 7th, however many years in a row we've been doing Toys for Tatas. It was another great success. The young kids in town, thank you. Got a text message, Josh, from Dairy Farming Sheet Metal Banging Your Mom Jesus.
There's a lot going on there.
It's always been one hell of a title. He wanted to thank us for our Toys for Tatas event. The thanks all goes to you. And I believe this is a reference to how he felt the day after Toys for Tatas. He said, I kind of felt like some roadkill that had been picked clean.
That's awesome.
There was a moment where I thought I was being set up for a beating because, you know the rule, you're not supposed to take photos at the strip club.
No photos.
And a couple of the dancers came up to me and asked me to take their photo. And I thought, well, this is going to get me in some serious trouble if I'm standing there taking photos of some of the dancers.
Yeah.
And
they'll kick your ass for that.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking around like, okay, I'll do this. I figured it would be safe since they were posing for said photo.
Yeah, you're safe.
Well, okay, that's easy for you to say. If you were taking the photo, you'd be safe. But a dude standing there taking a photo, I thought I was in some serious trouble.
I saw this happen, Josh, and we were all kind of standing in that same general area.
Yep.
And I just thought it was so fitting that they asked you to be the one to
you
take
see
the
the look
photo.
on my face?
Oh, you look terrified.
I don't really take a lot of photos, so one, I thought, I'm going to screw this up and they're going to get mad at me. But more importantly, I'm going to be picked up by guys 3 times my size and beaten to a bloody pulp right there on 3rd Avenue.
You know, I saw a rule. I saw something at Toys for Tatas, another rule that I thought was in place, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was against the rules, Josh, to grab a lady's ass cheeks while she's delivering you a lap dance.
I saw that too.
And then attempt to separate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
wow.
was the gapes of wrath.
Yes.
Acting that out.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that too.
Like a damn, what do you call this thing that Weird Al
An
does?
accordion.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. I didn't think you could do that. I didn't think you could separate ass cheeks.
I didn't think so either.
But I saw it happen.
You saw the eye of Sarlon for a moment.
Yes, and maybe the rules have changed.
Sauron.
Sauron. All right, on to the stupid news. Let's begin with what has become one of my favorite gimmicks over the last calendar year. Grown folks still living in the land of make-believe. Right here now, I have for you a 32-year-old sumbitch living in a place called Youngstown, Ohio. I believe the birthplace of Ray Boom Boom Mancini, but don't quote me on that. 32-year-old living in a place called Youngstown, Ohio. He goes by the name of Jermaine Young. Jermaine, he went to have something or another to eat at a Denny's restaurant recently, and he asked the server about the law enforcement discount.
I remember the first time I heard the phrase, friendly. I was with an officer, And we were trying to decide, where to get some lunch. He's like, let's go over there. They're friendly. Meaning you get half off if you're a cop.
Oh,
nice.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
And then-
I worked at a few places where we did that.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. I would if I owned an establishment.
Oh, yeah.
And so I went there again with my family, and they're like, oh, hey, I recognize you from before. And they gave me half off. And I had to tell them, no, I'm not a cop. Because they assumed I was a police officer.
Because you were hanging out
Because I was
with.
hanging out with one.
So this dude sits down, he asks his server about the law enforcement discount. And when he asked, he flashed a detective badge. Slick, right? Well, by God, there is a law enforcement discount at Denny's, at least at the one Jermaine was a setting at. So he got his bill reduced. Jermaine then upped and left 2 20s on the table, and he walked on out of the joint. The employees later found out that the bills that he left were counterfeit, and they called the cops. The cops looked into it and realized that the money was fake and that Jermaine was not a real cop and shouldn't have a badge at all. They tracked Jermaine down, and now stupid ass is looking at charges of impersonating a police officer, criminal simulation, and theft, all because it gave him a boner to flash a badge at people and get 11% off his moons over damn Miami. or his Grand Slamwich.
Even though it doesn't matter at all if he's going to pay with fake money anyway. That's what I don't get.
Nobody could figure that out, Ashley.
Right. Just take the discount and pay with real money.
Why are you asking for a discount when you're planning on paying with counterfeit monies in the effing first place?
My guess is he only has so much counterfeit money. He wants to keep this ruse alive.
What a jag-off.
But also, he gets to pretend he's a cop.
He likes that part. That's the part that really gives him wood.
Yeah, for sure.
When he pulls out that fake badge and says, how about that law enforcement discount? Boing, he gets an erection right then and there.
I was looking up famous people from Youngstown, Ohio. Ed O'Neill. Al Bundy's from Youngstown.
Right. But also Ray Boom Boom Mancini?
Yes. Yes, everybody knows that.
Does everybody know that?
Yeah. We were taught that. That's the first thing I ever learned.
About anything?
Yeah, about anything in the world.
Wow. A, B, C, D. No.
Even
Hang
before that.
on a second.
What is this ABCD?
Stop that. Do you know yet, young son, where Ray Mancini is from? Youngstown, Ohio. Okay, now go ahead with your ABCs. Now we're going to see about one of those social media influencers. We're touching on all my favorite types of people here in today's Stupid News Report, Josh, right away. Touching on all my favorite types of people.
Making up for lost time after we took a week off. We knew you missed talking about this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So we're going here from the grown folks still playing make-believe to those oh-so-special influencers. As you already know, social media dorks will do any damn thing to be noticed. Anything. If it means there's a remote possibility that they can become a somebody. Says here, a TikTok influencer allegedly filmed herself shoplifting $500 worth of things from Target. And then she posted the video up there on social media just to get that fix of attention that those types of folks live for.
That's so great. I mean, it's such a big tool for law enforcement now, right? It's the people owning themselves on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that so many times where they'll say, well, just wait. Some idiot will post it. We'll catch him.
This was back on October 30th. Why it's a story now, I have no clue. According to the local cops, they said this about the effing unbelievable moron lady shoplifter. They said once she got to the self-checkout register, she did not scan the actual items' barcodes. Instead, she was scanning a false barcode with cheaper prices. And using that gimmick, 16 items were stolen. Target employees gave the cops a picture of this stupid-ass lady. The police then posted the picture to their social media accounts to see if anyone out there knew who she is. An anonymous caller saw the post and said they thought it was a 22-year-old lady called Marlena Velez. And that anonymous caller also gave the cops Marlena's Instagram handle. And then when the cops hit up Marlena's TikTok profile, they saw that she had posted the video of herself doing her shoplifting routine that day at Target, and Marlena was arrested. So
It's awesome.
I have to assume, Josh, that since we're just talking about this now, a month after her little caper happened, that this shoplifting routine must not have had the worldwide impact that Marlena was hoping for.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, she has a lot of followers, but yeah, people just moved on to the next one, apparently.
She was probably hoping that
Probably assumed it was fake.
maybe she was thinking she'd be the hip new social media bad girl or something. Look, I'm shoplifting. I don't. Sorry, stupid.
It's funny.
We didn't care about you then, and we don't care about you now.
I remember, like, when my kids would watch some of these influencers, whatever it is, like opening, what do they call that?
Unboxing?
Yeah, unboxing.
Yep.
Yeah, unboxing or something like that. How stupid that was.
Yeah.
Like, why does anybody watch this? And then I'll go and I'll watch like a guy unboxing some ratchet straps and think, maybe I should buy those. It totally works. I thought I was immune to it. I didn't even know I was falling for this. It's happened to me a few times now.
Tell me the unboxing gimmick. Give me the whole story on this again.
So let's say you're like, I want to compare these microphones, right, for work. You want to get a microphone for home. And then you just so happen to say, hey, look at that. There's a guy comparing these two. And then they'll go and they have the box and they unbox and say, oh, this is so well packaged. Take a look at this. And it comes with this. And look, there's a pop filter that it comes with. And then this one doesn't come with a pop filter. And you think, well, then maybe that's not the one I want. But this one's cheaper, so you could buy your own pop filter. Here's one I recommend. And I go, well, if he recommends it, I'm going to have to buy it. And that's exactly how I ended up with 4 microphones.
You're saying you've fallen for this?
Yeah.
Really, Josh?
3 pop filters and 4
Holy cow.
microphones.
Jesus. This is all on YouTube and whatnot?
Yep, that's exactly it. But, this thing, influencers, doesn't work. Stupid. Who would fall for that?
Who could possibly be influenced by the influencers?
Only sheeple.
Not my friend Josh.
No way. Ratchet straps show up today before 4 p.m., by the way.
Can I come over and watch you unbox them?
And these individuals who go on YouTube and unbox things, they get paid large amounts of money?
Yeah, well, sometimes it'll say, like, if it's for sure sponsored, it'll say sponsored.
Silliness.
Or they get, you know what a affiliate link is?
No.
You're more of a Mancini guy?
I'm more of a Ray Mancini guy. Yeah. I know where he's from.
That kind of thing?
Right.
So basically, like, you get a link, right? I'll say, hey, check out the link in the description. And so underneath the video, you can click on a link and it goes to Amazon or goes wherever, and they get credit for it, right? Maybe they get like a couple bucks in credit towards Amazon or a couple dollars or something like that.
F me
And
running.
supposedly it doesn't charge you anymore.
Down there in that southeastern state that I shall not mention aloud during the stupid news, apparently there's a big fat-ass art festival set to cut loose in a few days by the name of something. Art Basel is the name of the event. Doesn't matter. But the artsy-fartsy types, they started setting up their dopey exhibits days ago. And one of the exhibits is a big pack of very real-looking elephants walking along a very real beach. Out of doors, don't you know? They set this up. Big pack of very real-looking elephants. Big ones, little ones. They're meant to look like they're migrating, don't you know? Now, I make a lot of fun of art exhibits and all that boring nonsense. But this pile of fake elephants are really good looking, and it's obvious that this took real talent. I'll give them all the credit in the world, by God. Did you like to look at the fake?
Oh, it's awesome.
Right.
Super cool.
And the talented people behind that effing bit They did not deserve this. The fake elephants are set up, like I told you, out of doors, on a beach. Unfortunately, a guy and a girl. They climbed up on top of one of the elephants and penetrated each other sexually.
Wow. I've never plowed a babe on a pachyderm. I'd give it a shot. Seems a little dangerous. I'd want a harness or a ratchet strap, which will show up today by 4 p.m.
And this couple got caught. They did. They got caught up on top of the artsy elephants, penetrating each other in a sexual manner. Now, the fake elephant exhibit people, I feel great sympathy for them. Now, they got to climb up there with a rag and a can of Comet and scrub the...
Yeah.
You ever scrub the floor with Comet, Josh, back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
I still use that stuff.
They got to get up there with a sponge and a can of Comet and scrub the sex stains out before the art show begins. Word is the two folks folding each other in half on top of the fake elephant were having, quote, loud sex. That's my style.
Yeah, I don't like it that way.
It's my style. I like it loud.
Would you use the trunk in any way?
Or the tusks. Good question.
Yeah, I didn't see tusks on these. Maybe they're too dangerous.
Here's an official statement from someone there at the art festival.
Imagine being that person. Can you make the official statement?
You know, it might be kind of fun.
Here's what they say. An official statement from someone there at the art festival. They said a security guard heard strange noises and went over with his flashlight to investigate, and apparently he saw a couple up on top of one of the big elephants. The official statement says, we do not know how they got up there. The two idiots didn't get arrested because the security guard, Josh, was very forgiving. Maybe he liked what he saw.
I might give it some time. Wouldn't you?
The security guard just asked them to leave, and they did. Would I give it some time?
Yeah.
It depends on what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that doesn't... Well, I'd be curious no matter what, but you're right. The duration would be determined by how good they look.
If it was like a couple in their early 80s, I'd say, get down off of there. You're going to jail. If it was a couple of college gals, take all the time you need. But this is a popular spot now where the fake elephants are set up. It says here also a few days ago, I love this part, an unidentified rapper was spotted attempting to film a music video with the fake elephants at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he got thrown out on his ass.
I would love to have watched that.
So we had the couple up on top of the elephants, penetrating each other, and then also this same security guard maybe had to deal with some stupid rapper at 4 a.m. trying to film a music video. E to the L to the E to the P to the H, I think. Elephant. That might have been how he put his song together.
That's perfect.
Wonder if he's got like a cool elephant-themed name in some way, you know? Like DJ Dumbo or something.
That would be something. DJ Dumbo.
I checked out that mixtape.
What was the lovable dinosaur that we read about as children? Babar?
Babar, sure, Babar.
Wasn't he an elephant?
Babar, I think, was an elephant.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He was troublesome.
Oh, really?
I thought
he was just misunderstood.
Oh, okay.
This is hilarious. So I was talking about my ratchet straps that I didn't plan on purchasing until I saw a YouTube influencer talk about.
Right.
And there are quite a few texts coming in that know exactly what I'm talking about. Retraction straps. Yes, that's the one. Those are the ones I got.
That's great.
And a few people say they may have fallen victim to that as well.
Well, now I'm interested.
And I'm getting crap, by the way, like, oh, with all the cargo you haul? Yes, see, that's what makes it even worse. Now, to be fair, I do have some bar stools to bring to, what's that called? Storage. So I will use them there.
You'll use them once.
Yeah, I'll use them once.
You have a storage facility?
I do.
Okay, I'm not going to watch an unboxing video of some jag-off comparing ratchet straps, but now that you are so interested in them, Josh, see, look at it's like a trickle-down effect, right? And these bastards on social media, these influencers, they know how this works. Now that you're interested, I'm interested.
Am I an influencer to you?
I suppose you are, and you say there are listeners texting in that know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is where it's at. Everyone needs to get a gig as an influencer.
Yeah, see, it works. even though I'm totally against it.
You're never going to use those ratchet straps.
I will use them to bring the bar stools to storage.
To storage, and that'll
then
be it.
Whoever wants to borrow them, you're welcome to it. And you know what? It'll probably be one of those things where I'll lend them to you, and I'll forget about it.
Oh.
And then a year from now, I think, I should get some ratchet straps.
Yep.
I have ratchet straps. I do. I don't have these new fancy schmancy ones. The ones I have are probably 25 years old.
That's what I have.
I've
now,
got
too.
multiple pairs of them. And I've probably used each of those pairs maybe once.
Yeah, I've got multiple
But they're sitting
pairs.
there. They're sitting there in case I got to do a re-imaging of the Beverly Hillbillies and haul everything in the back of my pickup across town. They're in my garage in case I need them.
I have one pair that's so rusty, they're never going to work.
I got one pair that are camo.
Oh, I got
that's
camo
cool.
ones, too.
I got camo ones.
Home Depot?
Yeah, I don't know
Not
where.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
25 years ago.
I got the camo ones.
Those look
Josh,
cool.
when you get these ratchet straps and you get those bar stools in the back of your truck and you get them cinched in, what are you going to say right after that?
That's not going anywhere.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I got to pat it first just to make
Yep.
sure. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ratchet strap you to my hood, Dana.
Whoa.
All right, if you're thinking of buying some of that perfume for somebody this Christmas, I don't know if that's still a thing. Do people still buy each other perfume?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
I know a couple
Really?
people that have it on their Christmas list.
Oh.
I get some every year from my mother.
And collagena?
Yep.
Is that what that's called?
Collagena? Perfect.
You ought to be aware of this here now for you perfume shoppers. Just like any swimming pool that I fall into, it says here some of those knockoff perfumes likely have pee in it.
Oh, bummer.
On the knockoffs, I thought maybe some people might pay extra for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Some effing fragrance expert online. That's what they call him here, Cubby, a fragrance expert. If you go on a long car ride with me, I'll turn you into a fragrance expert.
Oh.
By damn, I will. Anyway, a freaking fragrance expert is warning consumers. Here's what they say. I hope you can follow this. I had trouble. I did, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. The fragrance expert says here now that fake perfumes can be dangerous because they may not have the preservatives and chemicals that stop bacteria from growing. Fake perfumes or knockoff perfumes, they might not have the right preservatives and chemicals, and that's a problem. Sometimes they're made in unsanitary manufacturing conditions with low-quality ingredients. In fact, this fragrance expert says, laboratory tests of samples seized by officials have shown that knockoff perfumes can contain human urine.
That's disgusting.
He didn't explain or speculate how or why human pee is being whizzed into these perfume bottles, or if they're using untreated water, or if the workers are just taking a squeege smooth into the bottles just for laughs. We don't know. But the dude goes on about it. He says the cheap perfumes can be loaded with harmful chemicals that aren't safe for contact with the skin, which could cause cancer.
Ooh. Not worth the risk
No.
to smell decent for a couple of minutes.
And for what it's worth to you, this isn't a new claim. There have been multiple reports of human whiz in your perfume for years and years. So there you go. That's the first I've heard of it, but I've never spent any time at all looking into perfume scandals. That's not the way I like to spend my free time. But it's been going on for years. If you buy someone some cheap perfume, there could be some piss in it.
Whatever happened to good old days of taking your dad's Sports Illustrated and they got the little cologne sample in there and you just kind of rub it on your neck a little bit before you head out to
done
the
that.
middle school dance?
Oh,
yeah, I've
yeah,
done
plenty
that.
of times.
That was the move.
Dolce and Gabbana. Does that joke work? Is baño bathroom in Spanish?
Oh, you're right. Yes, it is.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. How about that one?
Gabbano.
Baño, not baño?
No. What's the legit title?
Gabbana?
Gabbana.
Yeah.
You went Gabbano, Banyo. Well, yeah, no, that works. That's a thinking man's joke, though. It's a thinking man's
Took a
joke.
while to come up with it. Did you guys ever hear, like, there's the ambergris in perfumes? Like, it's either whale puke or poop. I've heard both.
Oh, okay.
And what do they call that? The treasure of the sea or floating gold, I believe.
I think I've heard that before. Well,
Apparently, it's very expensive, this whale splooge or whatever it is, and they put it in some perfumes.
Wasn't there a perfume that... Oh, no, this was many years ago. There was a coffee that included cat feces.
Oh, yeah, we tried it.
We did?
Or at least I did.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No, I do not. I'm sorry. I just burped right under the microphone.
There was a local barista who came in studio when that story first broke, right?
Wow. This has got to be 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. At least. And
no, I do not remember. So
I don't like coffee at all. So to me, it all tastes like cat poop. It didn't matter. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. Oh, what was the kind of cat? Maybe somebody can help us. There's a particular cat.
It was a live cat.
It was, well, yeah, it has to be live.
Right.
Because it eats the beans, and then it poops the beans out.
It's a bean cat.
And then the beans are made into the coffee. So that's the cat poop.
Something about the beans going through the cat's gut, coming out and then it made the coffee taste. Right.
I tried it, and it tastes just like coffee. Remember, it was like $50 a cup.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember it being...
It was really expensive.
Expensive. We got people telling us, hey, if you're shocked by what they might put in perfume, you should look and see what they put in your toothpaste. Anyone know anything about this?
No.
Okay.
Hope it's urine, though.
I could put some urine in your toothpaste. I won't even charge you.
All right, I'll bring in a couple tubes tomorrow. Fill me up for the rest of the year.
Now, this is just silliness right here. You don't need a damn doctor to tell you this. But one has gone ahead now. A doctor has gone ahead and declared that taking a fat piss in the shower does you no harm at all. A urologist had a conversation with CNN, the television channel. I don't know why they're having this conversation. And that urologist said that hanging it in the shower is simply, quote, convenient, and there's no downside to it. Again, you didn't need a doctor to tell you that. I could have told you that. Says here, there have been magazine articles and such that say peeing in the shower isn't a great idea for women's. The claim is, if you're a lady and you're taking a squeege in the shower, it doesn't, that style, that position, doesn't let your pelvic floor muscles relax, so you end up straining, which can weaken those muscles over time.
Oh, that's not good. All right.
I don't know what the weakening of those muscles will do to a lady. What does that mean? You can't.
Or you can pee more, or you won't be able to control it.
You'll be wetting your pants.
Yeah,
There's
my wife has
there's a
that
lot of
issue
issues.
when she sneezes. Mm-hmm. There it goes.
Our urologist pal now, Josh, he says that's just straight up nonsense. He says, ladies, go ahead, take a whiz in the shower. Don't worry about all this talk about pelvic floor muscles going to hell on you. He says, just relax and let it run down your leg naturally. This is, again, for ladies who want to take a whiz in the shower.
Have you ever peed standing up, Ashley?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
Does it just go right down your leg?
It depends, I guess, how much I have to pee. Because if I have to pee like a lot, it's going to be like a strong stream situation.
Sure.
Then no, it can go like off into the distance a little bit.
You can.
Really?
You can. You can point it.
Yep.
I had heard that it's just a straight down the leg guarantee.
Right, Ashley, you can point it.
We'll see. But then there's been times where I'm like, oh, yeah, this will be easy. And it's not, because it does go down like the side of your leg. And you're like, I can't really aim, can I?
You know, I have decent aim, but I still get a lot of it on my legs sometimes.
It sucks.
Just getting old.
So this urologist, again, tells the ladies, as long as you don't strain, or press, you're going to be fine. You'll live to tell the tale. Peeing in the shower also won't damage your pipes. And since showers wash it away so fast, it won't hurt your skin. There's a low risk of an infection if you have a cut on your leg or something, but that's it. So if you're a woman, feel free to cut loose if you feel it coming. And it says here, if you're a man, you probably already regularly take a leak in the shower, unless you're Josh, who, as I've said for years, I've been dumping this line for decades. When anyone says, someone who doesn't know you, Josh, when they ask me about you, what's Josh like? One of the most common lines I dump out, I say, Josh is so damn polite he gets out of the shower to take a piss, which is a true story.
Yeah, although I told you not too long ago I peed in the shower on your behalf. I thought, you're such a proponent.
Right.
I was just going to wait, and I thought, well, let me take this opportunity. I got to say, though, it took a while to get started.
Really?
I think just because I'm not used to doing it.
Sure.
And my wife hates the idea.
At this point, Josh, I don't even know when I'm doing it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it?
It's just all part of, whenever I take a shower, it's all part of the, again.
I had to sing my pee song. You know, I've got a pee song. I had to sing that.
Sing us the pee song.
If you could only pee the way I something, then I can't remember the rest of the words.
You're the only guy
That's the
I've
actual
ever known.
words that I sing.
Yeah, other than being one of the, God, you are the only guy that I know that gets out of the pool or out of the shower to take a whiz.
Yeah, I don't pee in the pool.
And you're also the only guy that I know that still quotes Tonic,
yeah.
the band Tonic.
Well, it's just it works so well.
Oh,
And-
I hated that band.
Did you really?
Oh.
They were like, there's a few house bands essentially we've had over the years where they performed.
Give us the rundown.
Well, Seven Dust.
Seven Dust.
One of my favorites. Love those guys, both on and off the stage.
Tonic.
They were here all the time. We got drunk with Tonic quite a bit.
I got another one for you. House band, a band that came here so often. They were always in studio back in the day, not lately. Everclear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were always here.
Matchbox 20 had a decent run.
Oh, I hated them until I met that Rob guy.
Oh, he's great.
He's cool.
Rob's
I like
a nice
I
guy.
saw him
20.
fall off a chair at, what was the slushy drink place at the Mall of America called?
Stone Cold Creamery.
Nope.
I
You're
don't
thinking
know.
of Cold Stone Creamery.
Don't know.
I can't believe I
Slushy
forgot. We used to
place.
go there for like New Year's.
I can picture it. They had the things on the outside.
They had
of
the oral sex races.
Yeah.
Not sanctioned by the bar, but that's what ended up.
Fat Tuesdays.
Yes. Was it Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Fat
that's
Tuesdays.
right. You go there and get yourself a hurricane and you watch a musician fall off a stool.
What a hell
That
of a
Rob
dude.
Thomas guy's one cool dude.
He thinks he's cool.
We think he's
We got to take a break. We'll be right back here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The Brotherhood, owners of the funniest thumbs in radio. Text us anytime at 651-989-9393. Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Warren looking, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Unbelievable. Wow, Jack Sawyer, the hero, Captain Jack.
Something interesting is going on the field right now. Michigan tried to plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to them. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field. An unsportsmanlike gesture by the Wolverines. Unnecessary. They've won the game. No need to be disrespectful.
Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
We live on the radio?
We sure are.
I love that bit. Now, that was a couple days ago. Is this true? Police really had to go ahead and dump pepper spray on the players when a brawl broke out at the ass end of the Michigan-Ohio State football game.
They've updated that. They didn't have to. They chose to because it's fun.
That's crazy.
That stuff probably expires. Let's use it up while we can.
That is, I saw the video. I couldn't help but laugh. End of the game, the Michigan guys were acting like dicks. And why wouldn't you? Be a dick. That's been my slogan for years. Go ahead, be a dick. It's fun. So the Michigan guys are acting like dicks after they beat Ohio State. They start pawing at each other. Everyone's wearing a helmet.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is always so interesting in the
funny.
first. Hey, I just punched you in the head. Did you feel it? No. I'm wearing a helmet. And it got so crazy that the cops had to pepper spray everybody. They caught up some writers, sports writers, who were out on the field. They got pepper sprayed.
Well, one of the cops that was pepper sprayed into the wind, so he got it right back in his face.
I once peed in the wind.
Did you? How'd
Yeah,
that
I
go
did.
for
Did
you?
it go right
Terrible.
back
Yeah.
at you?
Right back on me. It was terrible.
I've been pepper sprayed just kind of in a part of a melee. I just was at the wrong place in the wrong time. Same type of thing.
The one cop didn't test the wind first.
No.
He just And some coaches got pepper sprayed. That's what I love about college athletics right there. That's hilarious. All right, never a doubt in yesterday's Vikings game. We'll see how the Wolves do tonight. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will be joining us here in a half hour, and we'll just go bananas into all this sports nonsense. For now, take a little break, Ski. Come back with Josh's news report.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at driveeasymd.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Family, getting together, family, friends, feasting, never this.
Thanksgiving, a day meant for gratitude and togetherness, can sometimes bring out the sharpest tensions in families, where blood relatives sometimes spill blood with the sharpest of knives. A 58-year-old grandmother in Memphis was taken into custody after stabbing her daughter and grandson on Thanksgiving of all days.
Oh, no.
The drama started when Grandma, fueled by a little too much holiday cheer and a lot of wine probably, shoved her grandson, which led to an argument with her daughter. But instead of hashing things out over some turkey or pie, Grandma grabbed a knife. When the daughter looked away, she reportedly charged, leaving her daughter with a cut on her hand. She then turned her attention to her grandson, giving the grandson a matching hand injury when she stabbed him in his left hand near his thumb. The victim stated her mother had been drinking and was heavily intoxicated at the time of the incident.
Is that right?
Grandma snapped.
You don't,
I guess so.
You don't get a chance to read a story like that very often, Josh. That must have been kind of fun to edit, you know. Grandmother charged at her grandson with a knife. You don't hear that story often.
Not too fun, or too often, you're right.
I'm not afraid of my grandmothers. I'm going to go on record.
I am.
Well, mine are both deceased, so we're safe.
Well, I'm not afraid of them either then.
Mine will be if they get cute with me, I'll tell you that.
A chaotic Thanksgiving evening in Florida took a dangerous turn when a 52-year-old man, reportedly swinging a sword near children earlier in the day, was shot by deputies after emerging from his home, a home that is armed with a shotgun. The unsettling saga began earlier Thursday when neighbors reported the man wandering the streets, brandishing a sword and behaving erratically near kids. Concerned residents also told authorities they'd received alarming messages from him earlier that day. Deputies arrived at the scene about 7:30 p.m., found the sword discarded in the backyard. They attempted to de-escalate the situation and coax the man out of his home. However, he reappeared with a shotgun, refused to comply with commands to drop the weapon, and was ultimately given some new holes.
Hey, sir, how you doing? Drop it now! Drop it!
Tests later revealed the man had a blood alcohol of 0.307.
Whoa.
That'll do it.
Almost 4 times the legal limit. Additional toxicology tests are underway to determine if other substances were involved. Despite his injuries, he's expected to be okay. Well, okay in the physical sense. 76-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger hosted...
76-year-old Arnold. How did that happen?
I think just like a lot of circling the sun.
We don't have time to explain how time works.
He hosted some law enforcement personnel over Thanksgiving, but he wasn't expecting them when the day started. Police responded to a call claiming a bomb had been placed in the actor's mailbox. Cops rushed to the scene and searched the mailbox and the surrounding area, but didn't find any explosive device. Schwarzenegger's security team explained it'd be nearly impossible to plant a bomb at the home due to round-the-clock security and video surveillance. Turns out Arnold wasn't even home during the incident. He was at the gym burning some calories before enjoying Thanksgiving dinner.
Hasta la vista.
Gravy. What the hell was that?
Hasta la vista gravy.
Please tell me I did
He
not.
was burning calories for Thanksgiving.
awesome.
I'm going to pretend
Yes.
like I did not just hear a soundbite that said "Hasta la vista gravy."
I want to believe it because I don't want to believe anybody would do it.
I hate this new computer here.
Hasta la vista.
Gravy.
Now, you can't pretend because I played it again and louder.
I can just picture the look on your face, the smile, Josh, as you're putting that together.
I gotta be honest,
I don't know.
That was pretty fun.
That's going to take me a while to forgive you for that.
Come on.
LAPD is treating it as a swatting incident.
Swatting incident at
Yes.
Arnold's place. And he's still working out, huh?
Yeah.
Good for him.
What the hell's the matter with him?
He
mean,
could
he
still
can
kick
stop.
all. He could still kick all of our asses.
No, he could not. He's 76 years old. He's not kicking anybody's ass.
A 26-year-old Osakis man's behind bars after driving the wrong way on Interstate 94 while intoxicated. He was more than 3 times over the legal limit. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office reported a series of frantic 911 calls around 3:30 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. They alerted them to a wrong-way driver barreling west in the eastbound lanes near Alexandria. Deputies quickly responded and intercepted the vehicle, blocking the driver with their squads to stop the driver safely. While both the suspect's car and a patrol car sustained minor damage, police successfully prevented a potential tragedy. In a Facebook post, the sheriff's office underscored the dangers of impaired driving, especially during the holidays, noting statistics show a rise in DWI arrests and alcohol-related crashes this time of year. The man was arrested at the scene after showing clear signs of severe impairment, leading authorities to urge everyone to take extra care this holiday season to keep roads safe.
Yeah, you can't be going around like that.
A 27-year-old Georgia deputy is making headlines for all the wrong reasons, charged with DUI after an incident that sounds more like a sitcom than real life. Deputy Garrison Page of Houston County found himself in handcuffs November 19th after witnesses reported him directing traffic on a street with no cars in sight. He was that drunk.
You go this way, you go that way. There's nobody there.
Nobody was there. The strange behavior outside of an elementary school didn't just raise eyebrows. It led to a police investigation and an open can of Mike's Hard Lemonade discovered in his patrol vehicle.
Oh, yum.
Deputy Page, who had only been with the department for 8 days, was in plain clothes but far from discreet. Around 9 a.m., bystanders noticed him stumbling, slurring his words, and reeking of alcohol. His patrol vehicle was parked nearby, yet the traffic he was directing existed solely in his imagination. A Board of Education officer first confronted the unsteady deputy and quickly realized something was off. When another officer offered medical assistance, Page reportedly snapped, "It's none of your business."
My God.
The investigation revealed even more troubling details. Inside his patrol car, they found an unopened can of Natural Light sitting alongside an already opened can of Mike's Hard Lemonade. Things escalated further when Page resisted attempts to draw blood for a DUI test.
This guy was dangerous, and he had terrible taste in alcohol.
I haven't heard about Mike's Hard Lemonade in a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's been a really long time since I've had one of those.
The incident's especially shocking, given Page's past accolades. In 2019, he was named Deputy of the Year while serving with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, earning community praise for his dedication. Fast forward to 2024, and his career could be over.
Some things have changed, haven't they, Josh?
Yeah, I guess maybe the pandemic took a toll on him.
I had a buddy who got a minor once, got arrested because it was outside the old Metrodome before a Gopher game, that big tailgate lot that used to be there. There was some traffic, and he genuinely thought he was going to go and be helpful by directing traffic. They pulled him, they threw him in a cop car, and he ended up blowing a .40.
Oh, my gosh. What an idiot, though. Maybe
he survived. Holy cow.
Maybe that's good that he was under supervision.
Yep.
It seemed that strange days on the road weren't confined to Georgia alone, as the fallout from a drunk deputy's ill-fated morning near the elementary school began making headlines. Other cases of intoxicated driving emerged, and the circumstances in both were pretty impressive, but in very bad ways. A 53-year-old man in Delaware was arrested for his 11th DUI offense after rear-ending a cop car. That'll garner some attention. And a 68-year-old man was arrested on Thanksgiving for his 5th OWI after speeding through Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, with a bottle of vodka.
Bottle of vodka?
Yep.
In Wisconsin? I've seen that before.
St. Paul's historic Patrick McGovern's pub was damaged by a fire, and thousands of residents were left without power after a driver crashed into a power pole and fled the scene. Oh. In a Facebook post early Saturday morning, the pub shared its iconic turret on West 7th Street caught fire as a result of that crash. A careless driver hit a transformer and fled the scene last night, the post read, accompanied by images of flames consuming the turret. The crash knocked out power to more than 13,000 XL Energy customers across St. Paul. Thankfully, McGovern's reported no one was injured in that fire, and they thanked residents rallying around the pub as they looked toward repairing it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that place, but I probably have only ever been there on St. Patrick's Day.
And you don't remember any of it, do you?
I kind of remember. I looked it up. I kind of remember what it looks like inside a little bit.
I've been there, I think.
A 31-year-old Massachusetts man was narrowly survived a life-threatening electrical shock while hanging Christmas lights Wednesday.
That can happen.
Around 10 a.m., police received a frantic 911 call reporting a possible electrocution. The man, a contractor hired to install holiday lights on a large tree, had been working with a pole when it accidentally made contact with a power pole.
Duh.
The resulting shock rendered him unconscious, triggering a seizure and caused him to stop breathing.
Jesus Christ.
In a race against time, the 911 dispatcher guided the caller through CPR, keeping the victim alive until officers and emergency responders showed up moments later and took him to a hospital.
Everything happened there.
Yeah. Thank goodness he survived. They said it was a close one.
What happened? Everything.
If it wasn't for the bystander, they think he might not have made it. It's not every day that a school birthday party turns into an episode of Fear Factor Cafeteria Edition. But one Mississippi teacher managed to serve up a truly unforgettable snack, dog treats, possibly by mistake.
Possibly.
A possibly label-challenged Calhoun City High School teacher mistook Fido's favorite snacks for beef jerky, and at least 8 children ate at least one bite of the dog treats.
I want to believe it because I don't want to believe anybody would do anything like that to kids, but it's hard to believe that you didn't know that and it's a dog on the pack and it says dog jerky on the pack.
The school nurse contacted poison control. One child was taken to a doctor with a stomach ache. The district superintendent commended the nurse's rapid response and fired the teacher.
Oh, wow.
How did the dog treats get served?
They aren't 100% sure. The teacher said it was a mistake. The teacher mistook the dog treats for beef jerky, and others are wondering if it was a little less than a mistake.
Have you ever had that? How does a grown person say that? Have you ever made that mistake? Because you're a big jerky eater.
Jerky.
And when you eat, you are quite ferocious.
I am.
Have you said, "Oh God, this was meant for the dog"?
No. I haven't made that mistake.
If I was giving my dog some dog beef jerky, I wouldn't be above giving it just a try.
I've tried it. It's not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cookies are better. Little cookies.
I tried a pupperoni once.
I did as well.
And it was really awful.
Yeah, not great.
I said to my dog, I said, "Why do you go so mental over this damn thing? What's the matter with you?"
I think something's wrong with my dogs because we've got like little chewy, like a pepperoni type things. And they'll eat them. But what they love are these dental chews, which don't look good at all.
Yes. My dogs are obsessed with those.
They go nuts for them.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because they last like a little bit longer than the other treats.
I don't know.
I once gave my dog a little bit of Copenhagen, and I said, "If Mommy asks, tell her it's Oreo." Speaking of lunch meals, Josh, you know who the new substitute lunch lady is in town, don't you?
I do, and I'm kind of jealous. I want to try it out.
My friggin' wife.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I told her she's inspired me.
Has she liked it so far?
She loves it.
That's fun.
She's the substitute lunch lady. She says the kids are very polite so far. And she has mentioned that the two of you have traded text messages on the subject, and I think you would be a wonderful, Josh, you'd be a wonderful substitute lunch lady.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I want to be a lunch lady. Yeah, when we're eventually fired from this place, which might be sooner than later, if the school district would have me, I would love to be a lunch lady.
And you know what's knocking my D in the dirt?
What's that?
The meals that these kids get nowadays.
Oh, it's different now, isn't it?
Jealous.
It's unbelievable.
I would kill for a school lunch.
If you go to the high school, you get like 11 different choices.
Uh-huh.
They should just put a half-warm piece of fish on your plate and maybe a couple of fries. And and a canned vegetable would get spilled onto your plate. There you go, kid. It's they're living the high life now, Cubby.
I would have Doritos and nacho cheese almost every day for lunch.
Did she ever bring you home any lefties? Any leftovers?
I have. And it was,
lucky.
I got a burger and some baked beans. It was glorious.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a high school lunch lady.
Oh, you're scared of teenagers.
Teenagers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take middle school. That's as high as I go.
They're still nice in middle school.
The high school kids will just thump you over the head and steal all your chicken nuggets.
I know. I'm already worried about some of the 8th graders. Yeah, I don't want nothing higher than 8th grade. A 47-year-old North Texas man decided to use a quiet Walmart as his own personal medieval adventure early Thursday, November 21st. Armed with a hatchet, a bow, arrows, and presumably a surplus of questionable life choices, the man transformed the aisles of everyday low prices into a scene straight out of Game of Thrones. Barricading himself with an assortment of stored items, he began firing arrows at bewildered employees and customers. His archery skills maxed out at enthusiastic amateur, luckily, so no one was injured in his spree of poorly aimed projectiles. By 6:40 a.m., Walmart employees managed to oust the archer out of the store before police arrived, but he was back on police radar about 2 hours later. Around 9 a.m., law enforcement responded to a trespassing complaint about a mile away. A homeowner reported a man hopping her fence and hanging out in her backyard. Officers arrived and promptly arrested the man, and they discovered he was the Walmart wrongdoer once he was booked into jail. That's a lot of stuff for one guy. I need a backpack or something to carry all that. A bizarre incident unfolded on Cape Cod when a 39-year-old woman was arrested for allegedly threatening young golfers with what appeared to be a gun, only for the weapon to turn out to be a rubber fake. Crystal Lawson surrendered to police Wednesday after armed officers surrounded her home. The situation began when 2 teenagers enjoying a peaceful round of golf at the old Barnstable Fairgrounds golf course were confronted by an irate woman emerging from the trees just before 4 p.m.
That's surprising.
The woman yelled at the golfers to stay out of her yard. The teens, confused, explained they weren't in her yard. They were on a golf course. And that's when things escalated. According to investigators, she brandished what appeared to be a black pistol, waving it in their direction and pointing it menacingly. Alarmed, the teens quickly reported the encounter, leading authorities to shut down a nearby road as they hunted for the suspect. After identifying her as the source of the threat, they surrounded her home. They didn't find any actual firearms, but they did find that rubber gun.
So she went nuts.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. It sounds like she might have lived on the golf course or very close, but she's tired of golfers out there.
At one point or another, she just went nuts.
In what sounds like the setup for a really bad joke, a 29-year-old man in Rochester somehow managed to combine public nudity, an impromptu house tour, and a DUI in one bizarre evening, and it didn't end very well. Rochester police got a call about 7:55 p.m. last Monday from a stunned homeowner reporting a naked stranger waltzed into their home and casually announced he needed to poop. When officers arrived, they found the man rambling incoherently and clearly under the influence of something strong enough to forego a typical neighborly introduction. A neighbor told police the same man had also tried forcing his way into their home. The night got more strange after police eventually tracked down his truck, which was somehow balanced on top of a guardrail.
Just insane.
Did he ever get to cut that deuce?
I don't know if he did. Maybe in his pants on the way to jail.
Well, he had no pants.
Oh, good point. Maybe they put some pants on him.
All over the car.
Yeah.
Naked guy in your house.
Maybe he just grabbed some pants, pooped in them, and stayed naked.
Right. Naked guy walks into your house and just says, "Look, I got to cut a turd."
I might let him use the bathroom.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. I think I'm baseball batting that guy.
Well, maybe I'd have to distract him long enough to get my baseball bat and rubber gun. Take him out.
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Football tonight features the Broncos hosting the Browns.
I like the Browns.
Nate Mendel from the Foo Fighters is 56 today.
I do not like Nate Mendel.
Oh, I like that guy.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Oh. Get him out of here.
Rick Savage from the Def Leppard is 64.
I like Rick Savage.
Me too.
Boy, he got a lot of ladies, back in the day.
He sure did.
Now he kind of looks like my aunt.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he have some bad plastic surgery?
Yeah, I think he
kind of looks that way.
He went down that route, yeah.
Just age. Just age, bruh.
Looks like one of my aunts now.
Shout out to Evil Garbage Man Jesus and all the garbage men and women out there. Earlier, we thanked the plow folks, delivery folks, and mail folks. So thank you to the garbage folks during their busy season as well. Today is Folger Can Jesus' birthday, but he gave us some bad news. He lost Papa Bob this morning. Papa Bob was 84 years young. We were
sorry
to
brother.
hear that. Yeah, I'm sure that's a tough birthday. Congratulations to Adam, a.k.a. Swimbait Jesus, and his girlfriend Emma, who got engaged last week from Loss Prevention Jesus. Happy 37th to former vision therapist Jesus from Mom and Dad. And happy birthday to King Ranch Jesus, turning 31 today from 80s Metal Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver
is a big humper, literally humping everyone. He is social, but he's more concerned about humping everybody.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Darnold looks to throw for it, pressured from behind, keeps his eyes downfield and has a wide open man for the touchdown. Johnny Mundt, his second of the year. Vikings finally find the end zone. Darnold will look to throw for it, pressured from behind, hits Jones out of the backfield. Redemption for Aaron Jones. Minnesota has come all the way back to tie the game with 1:13 left.
Not one time did anybody on our team flinch, and we did what we had to do to get the win today. But at the same time, we know there's a lot of things throughout a four-quarter football game that we've got to continue to improve at, and that's what we're going to do.
I'll tell you what. Live microphones on the radio. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. Hello, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're working on getting Brad on right now.
I've been so lonely without you, Randy Shaver.
Oh, my gosh. What is going on? Has Brad decided it's Monday and I can't come back?
Anybody talked to him yet? Maybe overslept.
We're trying to get a hold of him. I'm not too sure. It could be our fault.
Well, that's a hell of a deal. Randy, how you been?
I'm really good.
Did you miss us, too?
Randy?
Randy. Now he's gone.
Can he really not hear us, or is that a bit?
He must not be able to hear us.
No, I don't think he can.
Well, what the hell's going on over there? We'll try to get Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder in the mix as soon as possible. Even our telephone lines are abandoning us this morning, Josh?
Guess so.
It's one of those days.
Okay. I didn't think the telephone was going to be a problem.
Good morning, I'm here.
Hey, Brad.
Well, now, which one is this now?
That's Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Hi.
You see, we had Randy on the telephone, and you weren't there.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
Suddenly, Randy is gone, and now you're here.
Well, ask Brad. Since we got Brad alone, ask him the same question you asked Randy.
Brad, did you miss us?
Hello?
I'm going for the pregnant pause.
Well, that must have been pregnant with twins because that was quite the pause.
Okay, now we have Randy, but not Brad.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I must be getting the Brad treatment this morning.
This has got to be a joke, right? This is a setup?
No.
We keep toggling back and forth?
Do you know how to... You got to hit the thing one more time on each guy.
All right, we're going to have to flip a coin. Who are we keeping, Randy or Brad?
Well, let's just go back and forth.
We're having telephone problems
A
this
literal
morning, Randy
game of
Shaver.
telephone. Do you know how to... Is Dana listening?
Yeah, I got you.
You got it now?
No, not quite yet.
We may have to just stick with Randy. If we can't get two people on the line at once, well, then by God, we'll give Brad the day off, I guess. We'll figure it out. But let's just keep Randy on the telephone while we can. Randy, hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. This is our first official broadcast of the holiday season.
Yes.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is come and gone. This is what I consider to be the official holiday season.
I had a house full of people. And now I'm sitting in a nice, quiet place. So it's nice not to have people yelling and screaming.
You had visitors for a few days?
We did,
okay.
Yes.
And
it was a lot.
You mean you're? Sounds like maybe you're complaining a little bit.
No, I'm not complaining, but it's a lot of people.
Okay. No. It would be understandable if having a lot of people at the house could be stressful. Don't get me wrong. If you're complaining, you came to the right place, because having piles of people in my home is not my favorite thing in the world either.
I think I'm back.
Hi,
yes,
Brad.
You are.
Sounds like you're back.
Yep.
Hi. No, it was funny. You asked if I missed you guys, and then the phone went dead.
That's not true.
Now, Randy Shaver, didn't you tell us a week or so ago that now that Thanksgiving is over, you're planning some kind of a trip?
I'm sitting right now on Fort Myers Beach.
You already have left town.
Oh, nice. Son of a bitch.
So I'm already here I'm just here for a week.
Just a week.
And then I'll come back. I'm coming back down early next year. So
okay, I remember this now. Okay, and I think when you brought this up a week or so ago,
well, I always go someplace after Thanksgiving for like a week.
Okay,
just to kind of decompress.
Yes,
so.
we've become accustomed to that. But why, in God's name, why of all places did you choose Florida?
Well, because supposedly it's warmer.
Mm-hmm.
This morning it doesn't feel that way, but it will by the middle of this week. So,
okay.
I mean, you tell me what the temperature is back home, and then I'll tell you what my temperature is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but that has no effect on me. That has no. We've covered this before.
It has an effect on me. That's for sure.
I have friends who live in southern places, right? Josh, you've experienced this, and they think they're cute when they text you and say, "Hey, it's 86 here today. Look out your window." I don't get involved in that.
That doesn't do much for me either.
Doesn't affect me.
I'm surprised just in a way that you're a freeze baby now. You get cold very easily.
But I'm cold all year round.
16 is what my phone is telling me it is right now. 16.
Is it just you and the wife, Randy, or are you visiting relatives or friends down there?
No, it's just me and Roseanne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hanging out for a week, just to kind of decompress.
All right.
So.
All right. You had a hell of a Thanksgiving. We're cruising into the holiday season. What about you, Brad Ryder? Everything good over there?
Yeah, everything's good. Just kind of a normal be at home a couple of days, and now I'm back to work, sitting here in the office, getting ready to go teach.
If you and the wife could up and leave somewhere today, would you go to Florida?
That would probably be pretty high on the list, yeah. I would say so, yeah. I mean, my wife's got a sister that lives in Tampa, so, I mean, yeah, why not?
All right.
I'd probably go to my cabin, although it's cold out there too. So.
All right. Well, glad you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. Randy Shaver, I'm glad you enjoy it down there. That's all that matters. You guys have fun down there. There was never a doubt yesterday as the Vikings won their 5th straight ball game.
That was a pretty big doubt, at least in my household.
23-22 over the Arizona Cardinals.
I thought about turning them off.
You were going to turn the television off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Arizona would have scored a touchdown other than a field goal on that last possession, I think I would have abandoned too.
Uh-huh.
That was the key, I think, to the whole schmear, wasn't it? The Vikings defense kept the Cardinals out of the end zone. If they weren't able to do that in the first half, this game might have been over quite quickly.
It could have been a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it allowed the time of possession to tilt way in favor of Arizona, so the Viking offense couldn't really even get anything going.
Right.
The Vikes snatched up their first lead of the game with 1:13 left on the clock when Sam Darnold tossed a touchdown pass to Aaron Jones. So the Vikings rallied from 13 points down to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals' defense caused the Vikings some serious problems all game long, but they got her done in the second half. Arizona had one last crack at it, but that little Kyler Murray character tossed an interception. A lot of field goals. And like I said, the Vikings held the Cards out of the end zone in the first half, or they would have been screwed. They won another close ball game. That's a good sign. The play of the day was when the Vikings converted a 4th and 6 on that final drive. That was the ball game right there, and they made it happen.
Yeah. I'm not so sure Arizona shouldn't have gone for it on 4th down when they were inside the 10 and up by 3 instead of kicking that field goal. I mean, it's easy to say now, but
sure,
if they would have not made the first down, the Vikings still would have been pinned inside the 10 and had to kick the field goal. And then instead of that 4th and 6, instead of them going for it, they probably would have kicked a 50-yard field goal and tied the game instead.
Mm-hmm. So the boys stay one game behind Detroit in the NFC North.
I think the rule of thumb, though, is if you get inside the 10-yard line and the game is close like it was yesterday, if you have enough belief in your defense, then you take the points. You know, don't abandon the points and just hope that your defense can do the job. So
Dan Campbell would have gone for it.
Oh, yeah, he would have.
Dan Campbell probably would have gone.
Any Madden player would have gone for it.
Yeah.
Oh, my son was saying they should go for it. He always plays Madden rules when watching football.
Oh, I bet.
Is this true? I got a text from Go F Yourself Jesus that said the crowd yesterday at the new Metrodome in the first half was chanting for Daniel Jones.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, my God.
He must have been there.
He signed up to play for the Vikings, huh?
sure
Daniel
did.
Jones did.
Yep.
He did.
Isn't that fun?
How crazy is that?
So what's his role now? Is he the second or third string quarterback?
Right now, I think he's on the practice squad yet.
So
Yeah, he's
fourth
not even-
string.
He's not a part of their situation.
Isn't that normally how it works? You keep 3 quarterbacks on the sideline, and then your fourth guy
Well, they
is the
have
practice
4
squad
now,
guy.
right?
Huh?
They have 4 now, right?
On the sideline?
No, with Daniel Jones, they have 4 on their roster.
All right. At any rate, I think that's kind of funny. The guy gets gassed by the New York Giants.
Yeah, but it's not costing the Vikings anything. I think it's costing them like $300,000.
Oh, I don't care anything about the money or anything like that. I didn't even mention that. I just think it's a fun story.
I think it's just it's an insurance policy to have a veteran quarterback that you give him some time to learn the system, might be able to help them if an injury happens.
Maybe he'll be their starting quarterback next year.
I think he'll likely be the backup quarterback next year to somebody. I think he'll be their number 2, yeah.
You think that poor kid's happy to get out of New York?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great story. And his finest moment was right here at the new Metrodome. Why not come and hang out there all week long?
That's what that game was. What got him that big contract in New York,
without a doubt.
He felt like he owed it to the Vikings.
I bet he's happy to get the hell out of New York. I hope he can have some laughs while he's here in town. I hope he gets to play some real ball games at one point or another. How does everyone feel about Aaron Jones and him coughing up the football about every other opportunity he gets?
Well, he made up for it with a touchdown catch. Look around the league. I mean, you're seeing guys that normally don't fumble the football.
Is that really that's a factor all the way around the league?
Yeah, there's more. It feels like there's more fumble turnovers than there's been in the past from reliable guys.
Okay.
Defenses have gotten really good about punching the ball out.
Stripping the ball.
Stripping the ball. And, it's almost more important than tackling now.
They're ball punchers.
Yeah. Something like that.
Next up for the Vikings, this year coming Sunday, the Vikings host Captain
Is he going to play?
Huh?
Is he going to play?
They said he was.
Mm-hmm. The Vikings host Captain Death Rocks and the rest of the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
It'll be a big game for Atlanta.
Things are not going well for Kirk Cousins?
No.
Not for the Falcons in general, but, not for him either.
He threw 4 picks yesterday.
Oh!
And didn't they bench him earlier in the season?
They did. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there was this discussion about whether he would play or they'd put the rookie in to start this week.
He's such a dork. I hope he starts.
You
here
know
in town.
what's going to happen on Sunday.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen, don't we, Brad?
Yes, we do.
Cousins is going to go mental.
Game of his career.
Yes.
He's going to go for about 410 and 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
No.
Let her buck, Kirk Cousins. You and the Lord. Get her done.
And he turns heel afterwards and just goes on a WWE-style promo about how much he hates Minnesota and hates everybody here.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, yesterday in the National Football League, anything give you a halfie out there, boys? Let's see. This team beat that team. Anything on your mind?
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, it's always fun watching a snow game. So last night was kind of fun.
That was cool.
I couldn't do it.
It's so funny. I love watching them just fall all around.
I couldn't do
I'll
it.
say this, though. The
Balls
NFC
slipping.
is just brutal, man. NFC is brutal. I mean, the Eagles are playing great football right now. Washington seemed to find themselves yesterday. You know, those teams to the south of the West are, at least right now, don't seem like they're going to be competitive come the postseason, but you never know. But, man, the Vikings, if they don't keep winning, they could end up in third place. I mean, the fact that everybody plays each other in like the last three weeks of the season is going to make this division's just crazy.
Well, and the way the playoffs are set up, too,
so good.
if they don't overtake the Lions, which I think is a tall task if they did, but they're going to have to go on the road, even if they could finish 14-3 and have to go on the road for that first game, and that won't be an easy task. You got to go to Seattle and play? No, thank you. Or Tampa Bay or somewhere like that.
Browns Broncos tonight on Monday Night Football.
Oh. Big game for the Broncos, for sure. Big game for the Broncos. Because they're trying to stay pace with the Chargers and the Chiefs in the West. But, I mean, the Browns are just a mess.
In that snow-covered field, on that snow-covered field in Buffalo, New York last night, San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey shattered one of his legs off again.
Oh, I watched the video, and it didn't look good.
I watched the video on that, too.
Oh, his calf. Oh, dude.
One of his legs fell off again, and they think maybe his season is over.
Yeah. Well, I think the 49ers season is over anyway. So it probably is not going to make much of a difference now because San Francisco's cooked.
A lot of folks are talking about a late hit on Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence yesterday that led to a shoving match between the Jaguars and Houston Texans players.
No doubt that Trevor represents them well. And oh my, that'll be Al Shire, who's flagged for the big hit on the slide, and that's going to start a little bit of a scrum afterwards as the Jaguars come in to protect their QB. This deserves an ejection.
And dude did get ejected.
Well, if you see Trevor Lawrence's reaction afterwards, that's pretty scary.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, it is.
I like that the cheap hit happened, of course, and they wanted to, mess up the dude who did it, but nobody was checking on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Everybody was just swarming the guy. One guy almost stepped on Trevor's head
I was thinking
when he was going after the guy.
Gosh,
That's the doctor's problem now. You know what I mean?
But
our job is to beat this guy's ass. That's the doctor's problem to check on Trevor Lawrence. He got his hair parted for him. He was sliding feet first after running for a first down, and someone clipped him in the noggin there. His reaction? What were you talking about, his reaction?
Well, you can see his, when you get knocked out like that, I mean, his arm involuntarily went up in the air.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
You got to watch. I mean, if you can stomach it, you got to watch it. It's pretty gross.
So he was asleep for a while.
Yeah. And when they got him up in the cart, too, and they showed a close-up, he looked like a zombie. Like, there was no lights on in that head.
His season might be over, too. I'd be surprised if they let him play the rest of the season after that.
I mean, they've got nothing to play for.
No, that's what I'm saying.
What's the point?
I didn't know he went night-night.
Oh, yeah. He got a pretty bad concussion. I mean, I think you saw him forget algebra. Mm-hmm. He was hit so hard. It was pretty bad.
He did put a statement out last night and said he felt a lot better and was going to be okay. But I think Brad's right. I think for the Jags, their season has been cooked for a while, so there's no reason to bring the guy back at this point.
Speaking of health, people are worried about our old pal Randy Moss.
Why is that?
Yeah, something's going on with him and his family. He put out, or actually yesterday, I didn't see this, but yesterday live on ESPN, he talked about how his family is going through something. He didn't clarify what, and that's why his eyes looked a little, red or swollen, I guess, maybe because he's been crying a lot. And talking
about my eyes last week, and I just want to let the viewers know that me and my wife, me and my family, we are battling something internally. I have some great doctors around me. I couldn't miss the show. I wanted to be here with you guys. I feel great, but if y'all see me with these Michigan turnover glasses that I have on, it's not being disrespectful because I'm on television, man. I'm battling something. I need all the prayer warriors. God bless you all, and thanks for the prayers.
All right, so we don't know what the hell it is, but you heard what he said.
Well, that just leaves everybody to guess what it is. I mean, why not just say what it is?
Well, it's a private matter. I guess that would be. I
understand that, but then why say anything at all? I mean,
I don't know
what I mean.
I think he was talking because people were ripping him for wearing sunglasses. Like they thought he was.
They were sunglasses.
Cool guy.
It's an interesting place to be where you're okay enough to go on the show, and talk about it, but not talk about it. I would think maybe he might not go on the show.
Okay, so they were sunglasses, not big, thick, like Harry Carey glasses.
Yes.
Okay. So I wonder Christ, wouldn't it be something if it was just LASIK?
Well, I mean, there were some. I don't know what's true or not. I heard some people say his eyes looked yellow last week.
Okay.
So
that usually means maybe a liver issue or something.
Some sort of liver issue.
Well, I mean, we hope everything's going all right with Randy Moss and his family. But
well, if he feels well enough to be on TV like that, then I mean, I'm sure it's something that they've got at least a handle on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting there. So
okay, well, we don't know, but it's interesting that this is going on because I just read a story on BleacherReport.com. They're having a little fun with this subject, and it's nothing earth-shattering. One retired NFL player we'd love to see added to every team for the final weeks of the season. One retired NFL player we'd love to see added to every team for the final weeks of the season. There are some ground rules here. The player is hypothetically being added in their prime. They had to have had played within the last 25 years. They had to have played a significant portion of their career with the team. And for the Minnesota Vikings, they named Randy Moss. They said, is wide receiver the Vikings' biggest need? No, not even close, but no one is going to pass on watching a prime Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson on the same team. The rest of the answers were very predictable. For the Patriots, Rob Gronkowski or Tom Brady. For the Giants, Eli Manning. For the, they basically just named an all-time
who's
great.
The best player.
Right. But there you go. You guys have any other ideas?
Did the Denver Broncos name both Peyton Mannings for both teams and the Colts as well?
I did not look them up, but you're probably right.
I would take Antoine Winfield right now.
Oh, that would be a good one.
In the defensive secondary.
One of my favorite players.
Yeah. Okay, you'd go Antoine Winfield. I was thinking more a quarterback because as well as Sam Darnold is doing, he's still Sam Darnold, and he has these moments where you go, oh, God, that's right, I remember. He's not very good at this. So I would go back. I would say the greatest Viking quarterback of all time, I would bring Randall Cunningham in his prime back to this team.
Oh, sure.
I thought you were going to say Kirk Cousins.
I was wondering, is he going to go serious answer here, or is he going to go
I'm
joking?
always Hey, when it comes to the Vikings, I'm always serious.
That's true.
I was waiting for Jeff George there for a second.
Now, that's the second greatest Viking quarterback of all time. I loved watching Jeff George throw a friggin' football. Damn, he was cool, and he was excellent at it.
Joey Browner would be okay, too.
Oh, I love Joey Browner.
Yes.
Here's a text saying that Antoine Winfield is retired.
What?
Yes. The subject.
No.
The subject is a retired NFL player that you would bring back for the end of the season.
Is Randall Cunningham retired?
Randall Cunningham has retired.
I followed directions.
So has Joey Browner.
Oh, my gosh.
So has Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady, and every other name that we mentioned. They're all retired.
I would have known.
Warren Moon was a pretty good quarterback.
Although you did say the last 25 years, I don't know. Joey Browner might be on the board.
Oh, right. They had to be the last 25 years, so we have to leave some of those guys off. I forgot
Joey
about
Browner
that.
might be on the borderline of that.
Randy Shaver, did you fall down and molest yourself when the Bears finally went ahead and fired that Eberflus character? Because you were...
Well, if you watch the Thanksgiving Day game...
I did not watch the Thanksgiving Day game.
Oh, my God.
But I heard many stories.
I'm absolutely dying. They had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They had a chance. And they... I don't know what in the world in the last 30 seconds of that game, what Caleb Williams was doing, what they were supposed to be doing. They had a chance to kick a field goal. It just...
Our head coach is not allowed to call timeouts? I mean, the head coach could have called a timeout, too.
They only had one left.
Right.
They only had one left. So, and I know they were trying to figure out a way to set up for a field goal. But the problem is, after that play happened, and there's like 25 seconds left, it took them forever to call a play.
I've heard many stories.
It took all their time.
They fired him.
What? Oh, they should have.
Yeah, they fired
him a long time ago, but man.
You hated that guy.
Oh, just awful.
Randy hated Eberflus. Does nothing but wish bad things.
Oh, I don't think that's the
on
case.
him. All right, you know how we got all these cute gimmicks now for football games. It all started when they through the Manning brothers on television, and then you have to do a Simpsons version, and you have to do a what's that channel with the Nickelodeon. And so everyone's always looking for the newest cute twist you can put on a ball game. So now tell me if I have this correct, Josh. Coming up towards the ass end of the season, it'll be miserable because the Chiefs are involved. Coming up at the ass end of the season, Peacock is going to put on a Madden-themed altcast for when the Chiefs play the Houston Texans. Madden-themed. So what I understand is you'll be watching a real ball game, but with the technology, it will look like the Madden video game.
Which looks a lot like the real game.
I was going to say, there's not that much difference these days.
Oh, there isn't?
No, it's very realistic.
Okay.
Well, or will it look like the Madden games of old?
Don't know.
Obviously, the technology wasn't quite what it is now.
Speaking of, I watched that John Madden football documentary on Amazon. Very well done. If you grew up with the game, it's very fascinating, the behind-the-scenes stuff and how much control John took over the game. You know, he was insistent on every detail. He goes, if my name's going to be on this, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be good. You can't cut any corners whatsoever.
I'm glad to hear that. I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, I've got to watch that.
All right. Well, maybe Randy's right. Maybe they're going to make it look like the old school video game, and that would be a little more interesting if in fact you're into that kind of thing. I don't know.
Like old school back when the ambulance used to come out on the field when the guy got injured.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
If you turned the remote sideways, John Elway would run 188 miles an hour. There were all kinds of tricks. A couple days ago over the weekend, Golden Gopher Football Club beat the silly Wisconsin Badgers at their, ballpark. So they got Paul Bunyan's axe back in town, Randy.
Woohoo!
I think the Gophers are going to dominate that series over the next few years. That Wisconsin team is not very good.
They were not interested in being there that day.
Not very good.
I thought our players dominated the football game. I thought they did from start to finish. I think there's 4 or 5 plays we'd want back where I think it could even be more lopsided. I thought we made a statement in the rivalry, winning 3 out of 4 here at Camp Randall. Take a lot of pride in that.
That's my guy, PJ Fleck, right there.
One of those 4 or 5,
go Gophers.
One of those 4 or 5 plays was the late hit out of bounds. That almost turned the tide in that game.
What happened?
There's one of the Gopher players, really silly penalty on a 3rd down that would have been a 4th down, and gave him 15 yards. And then Wisconsin went down and scored, and then they stopped the Gophers, and it looked like they were going to kind of take control of the game back. And you could just see PJ just seething on the sideline about that.
I love you, PJ.
Well, imagine if this team would have beaten Penn State because they had a great chance to win that game. And there were a couple of other games during the course of the year.
Yeah, Michigan.
Rutgers.
Oh, yeah. Rutgers. This team really could have been one of the better teams that PJ's had in a long time.
They were very close.
It's too bad.
The missed field goal against North Carolina. Yep.
Now they'll wait around and find out what bowl game they're going to get invited to.
Yeah, they could have easily had 9 or 10 wins.
It's not going to be Detroit.
No, it's not. A couple of sites that I've been on are hinting at that Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Oh, no.
That's gross.
In Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Music City and Nashville, that'd be fun.
Oh, they're all fun. I don't care what bowl game they play in. They're all fun to me. I just can't stand mayonnaise. And I think we already had this conversation. There's no way I can sit there because I've seen the highlights before and I want to vomit. I'm not going to be able to get through the whole game because eventually they cut to some college kid in the stands and he drinks a barrel of mayonnaise. I can't do it.
You don't want to see PJ get doused in mayonnaise after?
I can't do it. It's too gross.
I love mayo, and I don't even want to see that.
And think about this for a second. The college football playoffs could include Boise State, Indiana, and Iowa State. How freaking crazy is that those 3 teams could end up in the college football playoff?
The playoff.
Because Boise State's already in.
I think Indiana's going to get in too.
Indiana's already in. I think Indiana's in.
All right.
And Iowa State just has to win the Big 12 championship game, and they're going to be in. So, I mean...
That's fun to have some new faces, right?
I agree. I think the days of certain teams dominating this constantly year after year, yeah, there's going to be some always. But I mean, Michigan was like 6-6 or 7-5, and Alabama ended up with 3 losses or whatever it was. And yeah, I mean, it's just fun to see different teams for sure.
There was always that gap kind of between the end of the championships, this coming weekend and the bowl games, where they're not really going to have that anymore. Maybe a couple weeks.
Well,
but I think the quarterfinal games, I think, are the weekend of the 20th, a couple weeks from now, and so that'll be a big weekend.
I mean, these poor kids, these college kids, are playing an NFL schedule. It is just absolutely crazy how many games they are making these college kids play.
Oh, what the hell? What are you talking about? They're 19 years old. They love it.
Yeah, well, sure, I understand that. But you're playing 12 regular season games. And then you're playing, if you make the playoffs, you're playing, what, 3 more? 4 more?
4 more.
I mean, you're playing 16 games. That's just crazy.
I mean, use it or lose it. You know what I mean? I don't feel any sympathy towards them. A lot of them are getting paid more than I am. Way more than I am.
True. That's true.
They want to play more football. They get to be on national television. There's chicks everywhere. What the hell are you feeling bad for these college kids for? Chicks everywhere.
I'm just saying the attitude we now have about college football and college sports in general is so different now than it was 10 years ago. It's crazy.
I love this. We talked about this a little earlier. A couple days ago at the Michigan versus Ohio State game, the cops had to pepper spray the players after the game because a fight broke out. It was hilarious.
What's going on? Every team that wins one of these rivalry games has to go to midfield and plant the flag. What is that all about?
It's like they just conquered a country in a war or something.
Something interesting is going on the field right now. Michigan tried to plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right to them. And now there's some skirmishes going on the field. An unsportsmanlike gesture by the Wolverines. Unnecessary. They've won the game. No need to be disrespectful.
Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
Oh, shut up. If it starts a fight, I'm all for it.
I like it. That's fun.
And especially Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, when you find out that the cops got so buck wild with the mace, they got some media guys in the eyes with the mace. Some coaches got maced.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Some 85-year-old old-timer working for the local paper got mace in his eyes after the ball game was over. That's football. We'll see how the Wolves do tonight at home against the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of struggles so far this season.
Yeah, it's not been pretty at times, that's for sure.
A lot of struggles. They don't like each other.
Go ahead, Brad. I want to hear Brad.
I was just about to say, I was looking at their December schedule the other day because I was thinking about going to a game later this month. Man, they've got a tough December coming up. They've got to go play Golden State twice next week, actually. Then they've got to go play Dallas and Houston on the road. Then they got to go play Oklahoma City on the road. Then they got to play the Celtics again. It's going to be a tough December for us.
It's already been tough, schedule.
I know, but
there's really only what?
They've lost games. They've lost games they probably should have won, and now they're hitting the hard part of their schedule, and it's not going to be easy to crawl out of this hole with this schedule coming up.
So let me ask you, Brad, do you think that there is a chemistry issue with this team?
Oh, Christ,
right now,
yes, there's a chemistry
issue.
They hate each other.
I think they can figure it out. But right now, yeah, and I think, early on in the season, I even said it's going to take them a while to figure this out. I still like the trade. I'm going to stand by it, but it's going to take them a while to figure that out. And right now, yeah, they do have some chemistry issues for sure.
The NBA is so freaking tough. I mean, who are the garbage teams? New Orleans and who am I missing? There's only 2 or 3 really bad teams. Every night you're going to get a good fight.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing. I'm missing somebody in the West. Utah. Utah's pretty bad. New Orleans pretty bad.
Well,
those teams on the given night, once they start. I mean, New Orleans is starting to get healthy now. McCollum is back, and they're starting to get healthy again.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver's going to start getting healthy again. They're going to get Aaron Gordon, that just got back on Sunday. They're going to start getting healthy. I mean, it's not going to be easy.
Hell no.
And the Wolves have proven that they are. It's like the Wolves of old in a little bit, that they play the lesser teams. They're starting to struggle with again, and they had that issue not last year. Last year they were great against them, but right now they just can't seem to find the right mix sometimes, and their bench has just not done much.
Things like going to Portland and losing twice, and losing at home to Toronto. Those type of things are going to come back and bite them later in the year when they're trying to battle for positioning, because they will be in the playoffs. I mean, I truly believe that, but they're not going to be the top 1 or 2 seeds if they don't get it turned around real quick.
That would be difficult. Someone said something about the Denver Nuggets. Last night, the Denver Nuggets played the Los Angeles Clippers out there in California. Nikola Jokic in that ball game tied Magic Johnson with his 138th triple-double.
Wow.
So that's third most in NBA history. Behind
Westbrook.
Westbrook is one.
And Oscar Robertson.
That's right. Today, the Minnesota Lynx are going to introduce a couple of new assistant coaches, and one of them is Lindsey Bydam Whalen.
Cool.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right, Randy Shaver.
Wow.
The other one's a guy named Eric Thibault.
That's the big one right there.
Thibault. Eric something and Lindsey Whalen are going to be announced as.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, enough time away from the game where she kind of probably reset her life a little bit, realized she still misses it a lot, wants to be involved. It's a good fit. You know, she's not out recruiting. She's not the head coach.
Non-pressure situation because Cheryl runs the show there, so, yeah.
And so she gets a chance, and, you know, maybe it's a stepping stone to something later down the road for her. But for right now, that's a great mix. Good job.
Yeah, you know who checked out? Lou Carnesecca checked out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
99 years of age. Legendary college basketball coach from St. John's, Lou Carnesecca.
It was always great when Lou Carnesecca went up against Raleigh Massimino and Villanova. Right? I mean, that's like the Bobby Knight versus the Judd Heathcote.
Gene Cady or Judd Heathcote, yeah.
Exactly.
Lou Carnesecca versus Raleigh Massimino back in the old days of the Big East with St. John's and Villanova. Yeah. Or when Carnesecca would coach against Jim Boeheim or John Thompson.
Yeah.
The dude made her to 99 years old.
God.
There was nothing like Williams Arena back in the late 80s and early 90s when those opposing coaches would come in.
Hell no.
And the student section would just be all over them the whole game.
I loved every second of it. I mean, Lou Carnesecca coached in college Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, and some others. He was a great character. 99's a pretty good poke, man.
Yep.
Pretty good. He's a Hall of Famer. Raleigh Massimino will always be one of my favorites. If you're a young person and you don't know anything about Raleigh Massimino, head coach of the Villanova Wildcats basketball team way back in the day, one of the greatest upsets in college basketball history, 1985, when the Villanova Wildcats beat Georgetown, who were the defending champions, and Georgetown had Patrick Ewing, and they were unbelievable. And that friggin' Villanova team somehow got the job done, and Raleigh Massimino was this pudgy little disheveled character. And when he would come uncorked, you've seen similar, like a Bobby Knight, or like when Ron Gardenhire used to spin around in circles and have a little.
Oh yeah.
But there was something about when Raleigh Massimino would lose his just this little Italian disheveled looking man, and he was just hilarious. Anybody been watching any the UFC stuff? God, I haven't watched that in a long time.
No.
Josh, do you watch the guys beat each other into dust on the UFC channel?
You know, when it first became really big, I did.
Yeah.
But like you, it's been a while. Every once in a while, there'll be a fight I'll tune into, but very infrequently.
The ladies will even punch each other's teeth loose.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Some of those fights are crazy. A couple live events that I went to, some of the women's fights were more entertaining than the men's fights, for sure.
Better. They're better.
Yeah.
No, this is not right, though. A couple of gals fought earlier this month, and now it's being talked about. Maybe the gal was trying to keep it a secret. A UFC fighting lady is still in pain after being elbowed in the anus.
Oh, no.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah. So this is a few weeks ago, but the story talks about how she still is in pain from being elbowed in her damn button.
I mean, she hasn't been able to sit down in like weeks.
No, she can't sit down. She's afraid to fart.
Yeah. Well, you get to a certain age, everyone is.
Well, she's a young person.
Yeah, she is a young person.
Oh, Josh, you speak the truth.
I can't sit down without a cushion, she says. What's her name? Lana Pinheiro.
Yeah, she's
is my
Brazilian.
Best guess at her name. She got elbowed in the Brown Star by a damn lady fighter named Jillian Robertson. You know, one of those deals when they get on the ground, when they get on the mat, and they're folding each other in half and trying to pull one arm out of the socket and
yeah.
The gal got this poor Lana Pinheiro, kind of got in the pile driver position. Well, maybe I need to be more specific. She was way, way, way on her back. How can I say this, Josh? How can I make this?
Well, pile driver, I think, works.
Okay, she got in the pile driver position, and her opponent is dumping elbows on her ass cheeks. I guess you just want to score points, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then one of the elbows, she just smoked her smooth in the anus.
Oh, no.
Can't sit down without a cushion. Can't exert much force. Now, that's where I took that to mean can't fart.
Yes.
At first, I couldn't walk, I couldn't cough, I couldn't laugh, I couldn't sneeze. But it's getting better. She's still mad. She thinks that the shot to the anus was disrespectful.
There's one rule in the UFC. No elbows to the anus.
She said, this direct quote from this Lana Pinheiro. Excuse my language, but she elbowed my anus. To me, that's disrespectful. I'd never do that to another athlete. I think elbows to the brown eye should be illegal, Josh. Does anyone disagree with me?
I thought they said it was illegal.
Is it illegal?
Yeah, I thought so.
There's somebody that can relate.
All right, real quick before we go, the Pigs beat the Nashville Predators in overtime Saturday night, and that put the boys right up there with Winnipeg for the most points in the league. I don't know if anything changed since then, but that was Saturday night. They got right up there with. They've won 3 in a row. They play here in town against Vancouver tomorrow night. They've had a great season so far, won some close games, which is a great sign, battled through injury issues, which always seems to be a problem with that club.
Yep.
But there they are, right up there with the Jets for the most points. That's a nice accomplishment, but as many of you know, I mean, let's say the season ends that way. Season seeding doesn't mean Dick Tracy of the NHL playoffs. You can ask the Boston Bruins about that.
It's better than starting the season the way they did last year and having to try to catch up.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, ending up the number 1 seed doesn't mean Dick. But they've had a great season. What's really odd to me, though, is they made a trade for this defenseman named David Jiricek, and I've never seen so many articles written up on a guy who's barely had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. He's kind of played in the minors and had a couple of, he played 2 games with Columbus, but then he went back to wherever, Waterloo, Iowa, and played in the AHL. But I saw multiple articles written about this kid. He's a 21-year-old kid, David Jiricek. They traded a guy, the Pigs traded a guy named Hunt. Josh, I think you know his brother,
no,
Mike.
Don't
I think.
do it. Oh,
But this Jiricek guy, he's our property now, and he's been called up. Maybe we'll see him tomorrow. But I've never seen so much hype around a guy who really hasn't done jack Ola.
I agree. I had you heard of him before?
Never have heard of the guy. But
fans seem excited, though, on social media.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So they know more than we do.
Right. I haven't heard of him, but that doesn't say much about anybody in the NHL.
So there you go.
We'll have to ask Marcus Foligno about this when we have him on Wednesday. I saw on social media he had his brother over for Thanksgiving dinner, and his brother showed up with a whole camera crew because he's being followed for one of those documentaries about the Winter Classic this year.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, so a whole camera crew all of a sudden shows up at Foligno's front door.
That's not cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the wife was just like, "Oh, this is wonderful."
Did the two of them wrestle on the living room floor?
Oh, I hope so.
To the camera.
We're talking to him in 2 days?
Yep.
Well, that'll be great. Marcus is a fine addition to the program. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, you guys go ahead. We got the telephone sorted out now. Everything will be fine for the rest of the week, I promise.
Sounds great.
Famous last words.
You got the half-ass morning show guarantee.
All right.
Randy, get the hell out of Florida.
Oh, no, I've just got here. I'm going to enjoy it.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserved since 1930.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at driveeasymd.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
And how many drinks would you say you consume each week?
Socially, about 4 to 6. Alone in the dark while crying to Adele, 100.
On 93X.
Yes, and happy holidays, everyone. It's our first official holiday season broadcast here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, isn't it, Josh?
It is. Today's the day. I see the worst case secret in concert history is making the news.
One more time?
The worst kept secret in concert history is making the news. AC/DC, they officially announced they're coming to town in April.
Is that something that we should have said a word or two about days ago? Are we in trouble?
No, we had to wait till today.
We had to wait till today.
But remember when we were talking about different concerts in the past, people were like, oh yeah, AC/DC's, they're coming next spring. So
yes,
everyone seemed to know.
Yeah.
U.S. Bank Stadium with Pretty Reckless, April 10th. I think that's the opening of their tour. They're starting here.
Oh, really?
I thought that was their first stop.
That's very exciting.
Tickets go on sale Friday at noon, I believe.
We had heard some rumors weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't get to make a grand announcement. That's okay with me. That's very exciting. AC/DC is absolutely legendary, one of my favorite bands of all time, one of the greatest rock and roll bands to ever live. That ought to be pretty special to see Angus and Brian. Cliff Williams is no longer with the band. Of course, Malcolm Young has passed on. If you remember from a couple weeks ago, a listener of ours thought that Malcolm had only passed recently, when really it's been 9-10 years. So who's, is it George? The other brother died too. I thought there was another young brother playing in the band. And then maybe Phil Rudd still on the drums. That's going to be great. Love that stuff. All right, you're a great crowd. You certainly are. We appreciate it.
There are Axl Rose rumors. Maybe he's going to be a part of it next year.
You mean instead of Brian Johnson?
I don't know if instead or just maybe if he's going to help out from time to time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Let me go this way real quick. Some of you clowns work out in a gym, right?
Yeah.
In theory. I mean, I pay for a membership.
That's how it goes. You are a gym's wet dream.
I know. I went to the gym the other day for the first time. It'd been a couple months. And I pull the app up. They scan, the little thing on the app. And the lady goes, oh, About a month and a half or 2 months ago, we got an app update. So you need to re-download the app to get the updated app. So right off the bat, I get shamed by the person because I'm using an old-ass app that they've stopped using months ago.
Dana, I'll make you feel better. When I met my boyfriend, there was a gym that he used to go to, and he went to go there to cancel his membership, and they weren't there anymore. They moved locations.
It was like a Von Hansen's now.
I have a buddy. He goes to the gym 3 times a week, but what he does is he goes in to scan that he was there, so he gets some benefit with insurance.
Yeah.
I used to have a job like that, and I would do the same thing. I would sometimes, honestly, I would go and scan the app, and then I would go straight to get like buffalo wings or something extremely unhealthy for me.
Ashley and Dana are gym members. So what does a gym membership cost these days?
Mine is only $20, and it includes some tanning, too. So it's a pretty good deal.
$20 a month?
Yeah, so at that place, you could get in there for $10 a month, couldn't you?
Yes.
If you didn't have the tanning.
Is that very cheap? $20? That's really cheap.
Yeah, compared to some of the nice fancy boutique gyms nowadays, that's a deal.
Not even the boutique ones. Some of the bigger ones, you could spend over $100 easy, and they have tiered memberships, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Would you guys enjoy the chance at a free membership?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Save some money.
And I'll even throw in some tanning sessions, Ashley. I will. I'll throw in some tanning
I'll
sessions.
take a free anything for the most part.
Yeah?
Yeah, seriously.
Here's one way to get a free membership at one gym. And they advertise how to get a free membership by a sign on the door. And it says here, bust the P guy, win a free 1-year membership. The P guy, P-E-E.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I want to tangle with the P guy.
Here's how to win. Here's all you got to do, Dana. You don't got to wrestle the guy to the ground or anything. Whenever you're in the restroom, they say, just poke your head in the sauna and look for someone peeing in it. Tell the front desk the time of day and a description of the dirt bag, and you win a free membership.
Perfect.
There's someone in the sauna, Josh, taking a whiz.
Yeah, I bet that smells pretty bad.
Ashley, do you pee in the sauna?
No.
Just the pool, the shower.
Definitely not. I used to work at a gym, and we had a pee girl there. She would just pee in the trash cans, like in the changing rooms.
Oh.
Because she was like too impatient to go to the restrooms. It made no sense.
Well, was it impatience, or did she have some kind of phobia of toilet seats? Did you really find out?
I didn't really dig into it. I stopped working there by the time they confronted her, but she was like, she had got a bunch of warnings.
She was
and then
known?
I think she stopped. Yeah, everybody knew it was the pee lady.
This person says they pay $450 a month for a family of 5.
Whoa.
Oh, my Lord.
What the hell?
That better be nice. You better be getting free massages and stuff.
Does that include tanning, Josh?
Yeah, it better include
That
tanning.
probably includes a little bit of everything.
All you have to do.
Well, some of them aren't even called gyms anymore. They're, dang it.
Like
now
health
forget-
clubs?
No, it's not even a health club. There's, shoot.
That was
like a wellness club. I can't remember.
Sure,
There's
lifestyle wellness.
My wife will know. She works in the industry.
In the 80s, Josh, they hung the title of health club on it.
Yeah.
They took gym out of the mix and went with health club. Unless, of course, all you have there are a bunch of weights, then they still call it a gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're on to something there, Josh.
Yeah,
There's
just text her to ask.
Like a lot of things these days, they've polished it up with a new name.
Well, because they're changing it, right? It's like somebody who has a membership to a golf course. It's not just about the golf. It's the socializing and all the other kind of stuff that goes along with it.
That country club type lifestyle.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is now. Like, you got your cafes and work areas, and, it's like kind of a place to hang out.
And some have bars, too. Like, you can get a beer at the gym.
That doesn't seem right. But I would love that. I would take advantage of that.
This gym's got a problem. A dude goes into the sauna, takes a squeege, and the joint's gone as far as to offer a free membership if you can put the finger on him.
I wonder if they caught him. By now.
It's very possible. All right, a couple more signs that I came across in this here article. Signs out front, different companies that are pretty interesting. Here's a sign, Josh, taped up to the window at a massage parlor. I say we get a massage one of these days, me and you. What do you think?
Very rarely have I have had one, I didn't like it.
Here's the sign. Me too. We've told those stories. They're very painful. Be careful what you ask for when it comes to massages. Okay, here's the sign.
Don't get a sports massage unless you're,
No.
An
you're a
athlete.
masochist.
They try to kill you. They try to kill you with the sports massage. Okay, here's the sign. Massage only. No extras. No happy endings. Please stop asking. You can't help it. Some of us can't help ourselves, right?
They probably get that a
get
lot.
it, yeah.
You gotta ask. Is this? You're laying there. You're getting your little massage. You can't help but think. I wonder if this is one of those joints that'll HJ a player before I get out of here.
I did wonder that in the one I had.
What's that?
I wondered that.
Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't something I requested or vocalized, but I did wonder, is this one of those places where they do this?
Mm-hmm. I was at a bar one afternoon.
It was called Handy's.
I was at a bar one afternoon. A guy walked in and said, where does a guy get a rub and a tug in this town? Okay, here's a sign. What do you think of this? Okay, Ashley, you worked in the restaurant business for a while as a waiter.
Mm-hmm.
Dana, you used to work at joints like, say, when you were a kid, you were working at the Mall of America at the Fun House. What do they call that joint?
Well, it's now Nickelodeon Universe, but when I was there, it was Camp Snoopy.
You ran some of the scam games.
Yeah, the rigged games with the crooked rims and overinflated basketballs. Yep, that was me.
Taking cash.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, you would take cash when you were working at the... Well, I guess I worked at a convenience store for a few months when I was a kid. What do you think of this policy out front of... I'm assuming it's a convenience store. Money pulled out of anywhere other than your purse or pocket or wallet will not be accepted.
No bra cash?
I like that.
For example, bra, socks, underpants, etc.
I used to work at a bank, and that would be an issue.
Oh,
People
you get
would...
the sweaty bra money?
Yep, so much sweaty bra money, or money that just reeked like weed. Like that, they would pull out of like a plastic baggie. I'm like, all right, this is specific, a very specific amount underneath the amount that I have to report.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Money pulled out of anywhere other than your purse, pocket, or wallet will not be accepted. No bras, socks, underpants, etc. Oh, yeah.
I guess it depends on whose bra, but yeah.
That used to happen quite a bit when I worked at a deli.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it was right next to a gym.
Oh.
So there'd be sports bras that have a couple bucks coming out.
Okay,
I
sure.
remember the first time I thought, and I was a young man, I thought, that's kind of cool, but it gets kind of gross.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was younger, but I stopped.
Put cash there?
Yeah, I think I stopped when I got into maybe even high school. I thought, that's kind of gross.
Yeah, I think in junior high when I'd walk around town in the summertime, when you're just wearing a pair of cut-off sweats or something like that, and I was a greasy little kid. A lot of times I'd just go around town just with a pair of cut-off sweats on. I remember putting my money in a sock and then handing it to the dude at the convenience store for a friggin' Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I never imagined how gross that experience must have been for the guy on the other end. Dana makes a good point. Depends on the bra. Depends on the underwears, maybe. Right, Josh?
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
By the way, Plywood Jesus has texted in about the where does a guy get a rub and a tug in this town? He says that's from the movie Mystery Alaska, a terrible movie with Mike Myers. I'll agree, that's a terrible movie. But I heard that line way before Mike Myers and Mystery Alaska became our problem.
I knew that, too, that it was from Mystery Alaska, but I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, that is such a horrible, brutal, awful... All right.
I never saw it. Did they ever solve the mystery?
They did, yes. It ended up being the old man who owned the amusement park. They pulled a mask off of it, and it was him.
It always is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I hated that movie. And it included Burt Reynolds, and I love Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Even he couldn't save that garbage pile.
Wasn't that the one with Gladiator?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So really, it wasn't good.
Oh,
I enjoyed
terrible.
it.
Absolutely terrible.
But I never laced up a pair of hockey skates, so I can't speak to the authenticity of it all as Nick can.
Well, there were some guys out there that obviously knew how to play, and there were others who obviously did not, and Russell Crowe was one of them, and it was frustrating to watch. Okay, another sign, interesting sign, at a cemetery. Josh and I both come from families who oddly enjoyed spending time, real time, at cemeteries. Sit down and have lunch.
Yeah, bring lawn chairs.
Park the car.
Yep.
right next to your dead relatives. What do they call this thing again? Headstone. Bust out the lawn chairs, have a few beers.
Yeah.
I never understood that gimmick, but here's a sign out front of a cemetery that says sunbathing and barbecues are not allowed in the cemetery.
Oh.
Please show some respect.
Don't sunbathe. Oh my gosh.
There's a line.
So sorry about your loved one. How'd they pass? Oh, skin cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah, I always found that gimmick to be really strange.
Never saw anybody bring a grill.
No, we would have
Nobody had,
sandwiches
like, one
and
of those little
coolers.
Weber's.
It's a Catholic thing. Maybe it's an Irish thing, because we both come from Irish families. But there was a stretch of time in the 80s and into the 90s where we would go visit some relatives and then hit the cemetery in town because a lot of our dead relatives were there. And then we'd just hang out all day long.
What in the world?
It's stupid.
Dude.
Get me out of here.
That's so crazy, actually.
How am I supposed to enjoy a bologna and cheese sandwich with all these carcasses everywhere?
That's so
I didn't get it. Beer tasted funny. And one more sign. This is not out front of a company, but just in the neighborhood. Wow, wouldn't this be exciting to see this sign in your neighborhood? Wife caught husband cheating. Everything must go yard sale. And then the address.
Oh, fun.
I wonder if that's a bit or legit.
You never know.
I
Pulling a
would
prank
go.
on somebody.
I'd have to see.
Or just they're being funny about their yard sale.
Yeah, being funny,
okay.
trying to draw some more people in. You know,
I could see going just to find out what the deal was.
hey, man, what happened? Wife caught husband cheating. Everything must go yard sale.
Maybe go say what up to the wife, too.
Yeah.
Heard you're recently single.
Why not make that move? Someone's got to be the first to do it.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Sure.
Is that all the thanks I get for the native hot sex?
I'm hearing you. We got to get the hell out of here in short order, Josh. But before we go, what were we talking about? Gyms, health clubs. Did you ever come up with that new fancy schmancy name that they hang on these joints?
Yeah, so my wife emailed me, and I deleted it, as I often do with her emails.
Oh.
And now I can't find it.
Health and
Is it in the
Wellness
trash
Center. No,
folder?
that's not it. It's not a health and wellness
No,
center.
it's like a athletic country club, I think she said.
We were talking about those joints. And nowadays, for God's sake, they got more than just some weights and some of those silly treadmills in there. They got bars, they got tanning beds, they got a sauna, they got sexual torture chambers, everything you friggin' want. Here's a text from a listener who used to work at a 24-hour tanning salon. And one day she walked into the tanning bed room and there was a turd on the floor.
Oh.
That's not where a turd belongs.
Gross.
She walked into the tanning bed room and there was a turd on the floor. One lady called and tried to say that her dog was in there. It was the dog.
Even if somebody watched me do it, I would have to say it was the dog. I'm just hoping. Maybe it works. Maybe I could gaslight them into thinking that it was actually the dog.
Just showing you video footage of it happening? No, that's a dog doing that right now.
So a lady calls in and says, sorry about that. It was my dog. I had the dog with me while I was in the tent. And then the lady eventually admitted it was me. There's no explanation why the turd ended up on the floor, but the lady did apologize and say, look, I'm sorry I misled you. It was not my dog. It was me. And then the lady said to this listener who used to work at a tanning salon, look, I'd like to cancel my membership. Our listener says, I needed a signature for the cancellation to be official, but I made a special exception, and I let her cancel over the phone.
That's a good call.
Because that way, Josh, you don't have her coming in and trying to,
Yeah, you don't want to be near that person.
Using a pen with that poo hand.
Plus, they need to be close to a restroom. You don't want that person in there.
All right, speaking of making or keeping ourselves pretty, talking about gyms and tanning beds and this and that. Okay, you guys know how much I love a good guessing game around here.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
Can you guess the most searched plastic surgery procedure, not only in the state of Minnesota, but also in the state of South Dakota? The most searched plastic surgery procedure. Not only here, but in Sodak. Go ahead with your guesses.
I've heard that the butt cheek implants are starting to become a bigger deal these days.
It is not butt cheek implants.
A nose job?
Not a nose job, but you're closer. It's an odd one. It's an odd one that wouldn't normally come to mind.
Is it like your cheekbones?
Not the cheekbones.
Is it the ears?
Not the ears. We haven't gotten a guess out of Cubby yet.
Well, I saw the article.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I assume Josh had seen it.
Why do you always see the article?
Well, because where do you sometimes...
How do you always see the
articles? Because that's what I do all day.
God, you're good. Eyelid surgery.
What? Why?
Yeah, someone explained that to me. Eyelid surgery.
I don't know. I've never seen someone and thought, wow, their eyelids need surgery. Oh, that looks
Is
atrocious.
it the folks who kind of look sleepy?
Yeah, that's my guess. Or like maybe they've got a little bit of a droopy eyelid. Breast augmentation is, I believe, the number one surgery in Minnesota, and a lot. Liposuction, I think, was number one across the country, but breast augmentation in Minnesota was one of the most common procedures.
Okay.
Plastic surgery.
Says here, eyelid surgery for ourselves and for South Dakota, the most searched plastic surgery procedure. Yes, Josh is right. Breast implants are still very popular. Liposuction is still very popular. Okay. What about Wisconsin, Ashley and Dana? What are they looking to get done in Wisco?
Liposuction?
Okay.
Not the stereotype?
No. Forget about liposuction.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
breast
These
implants.
are odd
They're
ones.
different than
Okay.
the obvious.
Maybe like the full BBL.
What does that mean, BBL?
It's Brazilian butt lift.
That's another one that was searched.
Again with the ass cheeks, but no.
Not the ass cheeks.
I'll give you a hint, Dana. You know something or another. You endorse a product that... go the other way with it.
A little hair restoration?
Hair removal.
Oh, removal. Okay, yeah.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's super hot.
Josh, they feel they're too hairy in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I could. There's plenty of people that like to do that, even if they're not that hairy.
Yeah, I've heard great things about that.
Yeah, it seems the ones I've heard are women mostly.
Yeah.
I know one guy that wanted to do it for his back, but he didn't go through with it.
I wouldn't do that. I have a very hairy back, and it's kind of annoying, but the process of it getting shaved it's very lovely.
It is?
Yeah, it feels nice.
I shaved it once.
You shaved my back on the air once.
Having your back shaved?
Uh-huh.
It's a glorious feeling.
Oh, it's just wonderful.
It's, Josh, you feel as safe as if you were in your mother's arms when you're having your back shaved.
I've never needed it.
As safe. I have a couple of really gross patches where I'll make the friggin'. It's terrible.
Oh, really?
Oh no,
I get like one long one every once in a while, and that's it.
Yeah, that's same with me. I just have a couple of little patches back there. It's stupid. I'd rather it was just a full coat of hair. Really, I just have a couple of. Okay, I'll give you a hint here for the most searched plastic surgery procedure for the Iowegians. Here's my hint. They're not doing a lot of bragging about it. Iowegians don't want us to talk about this. Their most searched plastic surgery procedure. You're not going to go, you want to keep this a secret. You're not going to go around bragging about the fact that you searched.
Is it something to do with the penis?
Penis enlargement.
Nice.
I've searched that.
And you'll admit it.
Outdoor Weed Jesus said his grandpa and uncle had eyelid surgery because their skin was sagging into the eye so bad they couldn't see anymore.
That sounds awful.
Like the droopy eye. Yeah, okay. I think somebody mentioned the droopy eye.
The Iowegians, Nebraska, Missouri, Alaska, Michigan, Indiana, and I believe that other state is Kentucky, I think. All their most popular searches were penis enlargement. And then you go to North Dakota.
Oh, man.
Then you go to North Dakota.
All bets are off.
What were they looking for? Ashley and Dana.
North Dakota's weird.
Yeah.
Well, really? I guess
Brain transplant?
Nothing to do with the brain.
You guys aren't North Dakota fans, huh?
Oh, does this one have something to do with the vagina now?
Yes.
I can't think of is it like
It's a fancy name.
rejuvenation or something?
Ashley is correct.
Nice.
Up there in North Dakota, they're all looking up vaginal rejuvenation, Josh.
I've searched that.
You watch YouTube videos.
I've actually heard amazing things about this as well. So
It'll just turn you into a whole new lady?
I've only heard from women who have done it after having children.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Does that affect the labia majora and minora?
I'm not really sure.
What the hell are you talking about?
Got some real technical there.
I think some stuff goes on.
I like that.
Well, I know Josh and I will never forget that special we saw on HBO once.
Hoo-wee. Yeah, we've told the story many times.
Oh,
but
no.
It's a couple. They went in for couples plastic surgery. The guy had what he called the extra scrotal skin, and she had some extra labia.
Yeah.
And both of us had the same thought. Well, how bad could it be where you got to get surgery?
Right.
It was bad.
And they showed the results of what was removed. Oh, you could make a wedding tent out of what they pulled off them.
Oh, no.
They showed very graphic photos of the cutting board.
Why did they show you such graphic photos?
I don't know.
This was what the documentary was all about.
I was surprised they showed that as well.
It was breathtaking what was removed from. And this was a very attractive couple, young, and it was driving them crazy. They both thought, they both were separately thinking, I have the ugliest gear in the county. I have to do something about this. So they went in as, like Josh said, they went in as a couple. I don't know what it was called. I don't know if you can look it up on YouTube, but you will not believe how much extra cargo these two were hauling around.
Because you might be thinking, well, they're exaggerating a little bit. No, it's crazy. Absolutely insane.
The first thing that came to mind when I saw what was on the cutting board, and sorry if I'm going to ruin anyone's day, but the first thing that came to mind was, we have the meat, or whatever. What's that slogan again? We have the beef. We have the... Did I come close?
Yeah, you did.
Which one is it, meat or beef?
Beef.
We have the beef.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
It was... Yeah, they had even more.
More than you would need.
And how amazing is it that they found each other?
That was the other thing that threw me.
Because it wasn't like they were on some sort of Reddit thread for people who have a lot of extra stuff going on.
I don't think they met app for that.
I don't think they met on an ugly genitals cruise or something like that.
No, nothing like that.
It just so happened. Maybe they knocked each other loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
Because they were young, like in their 20s. Maybe they knocked each other so terribly back and forth in the sack that they loosened each other's gear. I don't know. But it was a spectacle.
That was something.
All right, we got to call it for the day. What do you guys think about that?
That's fine by me.
Despite that last conversation, we appreciate you being with us this morning, and certainly want to thank you for tuning in live or podcasting. Very appreciative that you're here with us on our first day back. Happy birthday to John Deere Jesus and Boner from Only in America Jesus. Have a great Monday.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93 Turds.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.